Bonjour, everybody. No 1 minute countdown, because that means that me and Jake would have to just sit here looking at each other for a minute going, this is fun. So
it was fun.
No, yeah. But the video's ready and that. But I have to admit, though, like doing this review tonight, I was actually looking forward to it because I've done a couple of reviews. They've done really well. The Russell Brown one and Andrew Wilson. I think one's got 1,700 views, one's 1,600 views. And I was like, oh, I used to do reviews years ago. Well, months ago. I haven't had a channel years. But I really enjoyed it. So I was actually looking forward to this one. And I was like, yeah, I need to get back into that and stay away sort of a bit from Islam and the Muslims. You know, if it's in the news, it's in the news, not a problem. But maybe don't go out my way doing videos about it, but do reviews like this. It's been much more fun, don't you think?
Well, it's certainly a new experience for me. I've not reviewed a video live before, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will go well.
I think I've spoke about stuff before, but never sat specifically here to say, right, let's review this video. So yeah, I'm new to it. So
what I hope comes out of it is that I hope there's some disagreement, to be honest, because I think that in here we can be respectful about our opinions, and we can say, you know, I think this, and well, actually, no, I think this, and you know, that doesn't matter that you have a disagreement with somebody. It can be a very healthy thing because it can make you rethink your beliefs, you know, and challenge yourself. So hopefully there'll be something anyway, even if we don't get any disagreements. Or changes of opinion, perhaps is a better way of looking at it. Then I'm sure that we'll get something from watching body language, listening to the words that are used, thinking about the context of the video as well. There's always going to be something that we can get from that.
That's always fine, because I said to the missus, like, it'd be weird this one, because where I've had Paul on the show maybe 3 times, and I actually like him, I talk to him on WhatsApp now and again. You know, we're not like the best of friends, but I mean, we're now acquaintances, shall we say, or something. So I feel a bit more like I've got to be careful, because I'll be a bit maybe sort of defensive, or a bit like, what's the word, when a bit biased, maybe, I don't know. So I don't want to be like that. I've said to Paul, like, you know, we review videos, like, say what you like, mate. You know, he don't care, but I don't want to twist to then be right. Oh, I'm being super spicy about it and starting picking on things that aren't there either. Do you know what I mean? You've got to get the medium.
Yeah, I think I should also say my position on the matter as well, which is that, as I have said this on here before, but for those that don't know, I'd never heard of Paul until a few weeks ago, so I don't really know much about him other than things that have been said and the few clips that I've seen of him. And my opinion of him is really, it's neither here nor there. I don't have a strong view either way, but I am aware that there is a very loyal following, and I'm very aware that people get very passionate when they're discussing this subject. And what I would say is, though, his friend, Mr. Inman, who occasionally joins him, I've only seen him a couple of times, and he didn't create a good first impression, I have to say. He did come across as a bit much, but again, it might just be because he's very passionate about his subject, and perhaps he came across as a bit overbearing, and perhaps that's my misjudging of him. But to be perfectly honest with you know, both of them, I wouldn't say that I was on the fence. I don't form an opinion of them. I haven't thought about them enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Yeah, I was a bit taken aback with Richard Inman when I saw him for the first time. I have to be honest. He come a bit strong, and I was like, hang on. I've seen him with Paul a couple of times, but I've sort of reeled it back a bit, that I can see that he's a very, very passionate man, and he believes in what he says. And I think the way he talks, like being ex-forces and that, I think that's where we get the strong from, I think. But I've not seen anything where I say I dislike him. He's popped up a couple of times, even in my feed. I'm like, oh, what's he on about then? I didn't know he was live. And I'll sit there for half an hour. So, maybe like yourself, you know, not.
I'm not here to judge anybody, but on the couple of occasions where I did see him, it was what you were saying. Really, it's more the tone. It just didn't sit right with me. But again, it might just be my impression. It might have just been how he came across on the day. So I don't have a
Yeah.
strong opinion of them, and I would say that if that were true, because there is someone I have a very strong opinion about that I did want to mention today because I think it's really important, and that is Shabana Badmood, who this morning was appalling in the way that she spoke. And I took a note of the phrase that she kept using, which was that we need to tackle the root of this problem. But we all know what the root of this problem is, and they're not tackling it. And they've decided now they're going to give 25 million in terms of money to protect the Jews. Why can't they just take that 25 million, give 10 grand to a bunch of these families and tell them where to go? I'd be much happier if the money in that way. I know not everyone agrees, but I think that would be a much better way of dealing with it.
Yep, and I did see Shabana Mahmood said on X that we need to deal with the problem of the young people stabbing Jews.
Yeah, the young people. Which, speaking of, have you noticed how all of these attacks is always a lone wolf attacker? Every single one. Oh, it's a lone wolf. Oh, it's another lone wolf. Well, when you've got that many wolves, you've got a pack. And I think that what we've got happening here is an Iranian-sponsored bunch of sleeper cells, basically, that are now...
Yep.
They've been unleashed. They're told to go out and just kill wherever, whenever. But it's what it seems to me like. And that's why the terror threat level was raised earlier today from, what was it? It began with an S. I can't remember what the exact word was now, but it's gone up to, so it's substantial. That was the one it was.
That's it, yep.
Now severe. And we all know who the problem is. We know who has caused all of the terrorist attacks. Why are they just not coming out and saying it? And one other thing, just whilst we're mentioning Shabana, is that let's not forget she's only one footstep away from being in a leadership role. And it's not inconceivable that she could take over from Starmer. And then if that happened, God knows what will happen to this country.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't.
He's just hit a button and kicked himself out. That wasn't me, folks. It wasn't me. I suddenly got big there, didn't I? Look at my hair. What's going on, Wiz? What's going on? I'm trying to act cool with long hair. That's the problem, isn't it? How you doing, Lecture Doc? Good to see you back, mate. I hope your lounge is looking spiffing. But I have just loaded up a short video about that Peter Tatchel. He's got the globalise, the intifada type message, but apparently holding a big placard saying it, they'd still drop the court case. That's why the Jews keep getting attacked, because no one gets punished. It's absolutely flipping awful. I was fuming, so I've done a little video about that. And in it, I got a little bit smart as well. I was going on about, there he is. you literally kicked yourself, did you?
I was abducted by aliens. It feels like 4 hours. No, sorry.
That was so funny.
I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
I literally just suddenly got massive head. I was like, whoa, it's me, mate. And you were gone. So, yeah, I'm just saying, in the video that I've done, I've got a bit sarcastic because that Peter Tatchel, I don't know if you heard me just then, Jake, saying about globalised intifada on a sign. It's literally there for all to see, and the Met Police have dropped the court case. So if it goes unpunished, why do you think Jews are still being hated on and attacked? Oh, I wonder. It's a joke. But the funny thing is, in my video, it's only a short video, so to go and see my shorts, everyone. I'm in it, and I'm being quite smart about it. I'm going, right, but we don't know the root cause of Islamic terrorism. No, we don't know what the root cause is. Islamic terrorism. I don't know the root cause, but you know, we've got to look for the root cause, but don't know what it is with Islam.
Well, what she said this morning was that we've got to tackle the root cause. But what she then said, I thought was quite disturbing, because she said that it will take years of education. Now, you can take that in any number of ways, but if people are right and there was some sort of a takeover, that language would fit exactly with that. that it will take years to educate people into that way of thinking. Could be the way that she meant it, or she could just mean in trying to de-radicalize people through education, which is probably what she'd say she meant. Either way, it's not going to work. The root of the problem is obvious. The way to deal with it is obvious, and I cannot fathom why they're not dealing with it properly. It's something is fundamentally wrong with the entire system, and that's where the fault really lies.
100%. But I did say I'll probably get my video removed, that short one, because all the Muslims sort of gang up, report it for no reason other than the fact that it's too factual and they don't like it, and it's terrible. So literally the Muslims try and remove our free speech in our own country, and Shabana Mahmood, who's a Pakistani Muslim, who's clearly stated Islam is, and her religion is at the forefront of everything she does.
Yes.
So if Islam comes first, where does the country come? Because then she should not be in politics.
She didn't mention Islam or Muslims this morning. She mentioned Jewish people, but nothing at all about Islam.
And young people stabbing.
Yeah, young people.
Not young Muslims, terrorists, Islamic terrorists stabbing.
And don't forget as well, they played the mental health card too. He had mental health issues. Yes, he did have mental health issues. He was known to the authorities and should have been dealt with by then. If he was known to prevent, which they said that he was, then prevent are obviously useless. What is the point of them if they're not going to stop these people? And trying to pass it off as mental health is, yes, it is accurate in terms of the fact that they've been brainwashed into a death cult. I agree with that, but just come out and tell us the truth.
Yep, 100%. It's just a bit... Ruda Cabana was the same, wasn't it, with prevent? Yeah.
In fact, I thought of him because I saw the description was of a British national born in Somalia, I think was the description they gave him.
Somalian then. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. So I was gonna say, Electrodoc, it's getting serious, isn't it? Meeting her mum and dad. Ooh.
Wedding bells in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have asked him to leave as well. If you got a T-shirt that says "All refugees welcome," you got a problem, mate. You got a severe problem.
Yeah.
So, yes, he is.
Yes,
he's a weirdo as well. A man can be a woman can be a man, and yep, he talks out of his arse. He's got to stand up when he talks.
He had a point in the 80s when there actually was oppression against homosexuals, but it's not really anything for him to campaign about on that front anymore. So I suppose he had to move into the trans and all that kind of pedo area, just so he can fight for some sort of sexual deviance.
Yeah.
Dreadful man.
Definitely. So, also I've got to give a big shout out to Phil. He's probably having a snooze before work at 9, but I spoke to him earlier, obviously, but I woke up and they said, you got a Ko-fi or coffee, whatever you call donation. I'm like, what? It's 18 minutes past 9. I was like, maybe it's from yesterday and it didn't come through and it's caught up. And I was like, because I think Sheil Miller, she does some, and I miss them. I'm like, why didn't it tell me? So I've gone in to look and it's from Phil. And I was like, is that right? My eyes, I was like, blimey heck. So yeah, I had to get hold of Phil through WhatsApp and say, thank you. He sent me £100. I was like, bloody hell, mate.
Well done.
Thank you so much. So that's gone in the funds. So I've got I've got a 10-minute consultation since I've had my X-ray for my teeth. 10-minute consultation. It's going to cost me 25 quid to get there and back in a taxi. My son's about, but maybe his car will be available. If not, his girlfriend's car might be available, so I might be able to get out of it. But for a 10-minute consultation, and they better not. I was worried because I thought, they're going to end up saying like, oh yeah, what it is, we're not going to do it in the hospital or whatever, and say, oh, the dentist to do it, not for £95 a bloody tooth. You're not, mate. Do you know what I mean? 11 of them.
lucky in one regard, because it would take me a lot longer than that to get to a hospital from here. Right up near Great Yarmouth, the nearest hospital. So it would cost a fortune to get there by taxi.
Blooming wood, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But lectured, we haven't even touched each other. Where we yet? I'll tell you what, lecture doc. Answer me this: why does the Avon lady walk funny? Because her lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be in the dentist chair. It's a consultation. Sorry, mate.
They all thought we were going to be serious this evening.
Yep. But yeah, I've got a weird laugh. I know people go, "You got a weird laugh, mate." I know. I got a lot sneaky, look. But yeah, but, I've got the video ready. Look, it's there. So, whoa, hello, Paul.
Oh.
So it's all ready. So it's all happy days. But perhaps at the dentist. Ooh. Oh yes, yeah. My video. I got a video up 11 months ago. It's on the page. Go to my YouTube page. Scroll down. Got the Ahmadi Religion of Peace and Light. I had 458 views on that video, and it was done 11 months ago. And I was like, that's good. I looked at it yesterday, 1,700 views. When did that happen? I was like, that's impressive. That was a whiz on his own investigates type thing, but I put it up in popular video or some. Oh no, I think I put it in Whiz and Co investigates because obviously I've done it on my own, but it brings it out from the back end because it's relevant. So yeah, they've gone in, haven't they? Raided the place in Crewe. Do you know about it, Jake? Or
I heard about it, yeah, and I just saw in the chat that Kelly's there, and she's put that there's been loads more raids near her because obviously she's living in Crewe. Says it's a scary time for the community, tensions are high. Might be worth having a word with her if she's still about later on.
Yeah, it's literally at the end of her road.
Yeah.
Where it's based, and I saw the police smash through the gate, well, try and wobble it and then push it out and got in, and it's to do with slavery, essays and forced marriage and all that sort of stuff. You're like, whoa, which I spoke about it 11 months ago. What took them so long? But,
also, there's and at the back of that, and I dare say that was used for training as well of various different types. I mean, why were they allowed to do it? Why were they allowed to set up a guarded sect in an English or city, whatever one Crewe is? I'm not sure. Just shouldn't be allowed. None of this should be allowed. I mean, I've reached the point for a long time now where I've tried with these people, but I've just had enough. I just don't want anything to do with them. I don't want them here. I don't think they've done anything to benefit our country in any way whatsoever. And for 6% of the population to cause this many problems, there has to be something seriously wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I think they got booted out of Germany or done a runner from Germany because they are wanted. And I think it might have been the same in America. But I just think it's weird how a bloke spends God knows how many years filming and doing documentaries on cults and then starts a cult and says, I was chosen by Muhammad. Like, where? What, you spoke to Muhammad? Don't think you did something, mate, with your beanie hat on.
He might have.
Yeah.
You can't prove he did.
Yeah, it's true. But the best thing is, well, they do claim, like Jay Smith does claim that Muhammad didn't even exist. It was all invented, full stop. So who knows?
There's also the about Jesus though, as well.
I was going to say something about the Mahdi. What was I going to say about the Mahdi? Oh, great Mahdi. What was I going to say?
Sorry,
I don't know.
I ruined it.
Oh yeah, he says like you don't need any personal wealth. So everyone that goes there, they sell up everything and they give all their money to him. Can you see the problem there?
It
You
sounds
don't
reasonable.
need any personal wealth, but sell it all and give me your money.
I think that it's a fantastic idea if you're a cult leader. That's precisely what I would do. Confiscate their land, sell it, use it to fund whatever you want. I mean, it's like something from a bad film. But yet these things are happening. They're happening right in front of us, and people are not doing anything about it because they're. And I'm fed up with hearing this excuse now that they're afraid of being racist. That doesn't cut it anymore, I'm afraid. They are deliberately ignoring things, is what they're doing, and in doing that, they are complicit in whatever nefarious act these groups get up to.
Crazy, but yeah, Mad Monkey Seeds, you're right. He makes them kiss his manhood. Strange, but yeah. Well, Blank Faces says it'd be you would be gutted, wouldn't you? I was chosen. Oh no, apparently he was. No, he's chosen. What? Making it all up, mate. But yeah, it's crazy stuff. But yeah.
Hear that about Kelly. I hope that she is safe where she is, and that the community are feeling safer now that they've got rid of the leader. But obviously, with all those people still there, I can fully understand why there would be tensions and why people would be worried about that.
Yep. It's weird out of all the religions, he just happens to choose to go on the side of Islam and all everything that they teach in their weird and wonderful world. Because I think there was 150 odd people there and 59 were kids. I think that's what I read. So poor kids.
All wives.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know what we can really say about that. It's just awful. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, right, that's 20.
I feel bad for Paul here. Paul looks like he's holding Paul looks like he's trying to hold in a fart there. I think he's held it in long enough.
So he looks like he's just like, you what? Bang. Just. But 13 have been charged with what's right. Punlick? Punlick order offences. So peaceful, yeah. Peace and light. So they're not peaceful. They've got all these offences, and there's no light because not one of them owns a torch.
No, and it's not their fault that Jews keep running onto the end of their knives that they carry in public. I mean, where's the responsibility of the Jews there? Why aren't they taking accountability for their actions? I mean, the man was only walking along with a knife when the Jewish man then ran into it and injured himself in the process. But we could then clearly see that the man was trying to remove the knife repeatedly, but yet the Jewish man kept pulling it back in again.
That's good.
Oh, nice.
Jake's starting a cult. He's going to wear a cravat.
Like Ed Dutton is one.
Cheers, Pat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious, isn't it? Yeah, Jews keep running up to Muslims and going, "Oh, you got a knife there," and falling on it. What are they doing?
I know. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And who gets the blame for it? The Muslims again. It's always the Muslims.
I know.
It's this divisive rhetoric that people are spreading about them. That's the real problem. It's not anything that they're doing. It's the divisive rhetoric of those who notice it. But
they just can't escape it because what are you going to do if a Jew keeps jumping on your weapons?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
They are ridiculous. That's what they are. Anything for a drama.
Yeah, drama. They love a bit of drama, but Muslims are the victims. They're right.
They are.
So,
all victims. That's quite funny what Pat's just put. The base will be called the Cravatican.
That's a good one. The Cravatican. It was that Pat. Yeah. I was just seeing like someone gave that video that I put up about what's it called? Rachel Wilson and Brian Shapiro. But yes, that was hilarious. But Cravatican, that's got me. Oh dear. But I still like the picture that Mo there with his wife and his little logo picture. But yes, we need to get on to Paul Thorpe, don't we? who's going? Who's going on May the 16th? Anyone in chat? Are you going, Jake?
No,
No.
I don't like crowds, I don't like London, and I don't really see the point, to be honest.
Do you know, I said that on the last one, September the 13th. I literally said beforehand, one, be careful because there's going to be people try to cause trouble and get them in trouble. But
Yeah.
second, I was like, what will change? What will change on what will be different on September the 14th, September the 15th? Nothing. I get the solidarity bit. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I will, with the last one, it was really impressive to see that many people gathered in London for a common cause. But what I think is missing is there's not any, apart from saying we want to unite people, there isn't enough of a common message that's there that's going to have an effect on anything, because it's not a political movement. Although it's associated with politics, it doesn't actually have a political message of its own. And so in that regard, what is it actually going to do? And if you look throughout history, yes, there have been peaceful protests, but it's never peaceful protests that make the change, it's riots. The poll tax ended because there was a riot in Trafalgar Square, not because there was a peaceful protest there.
Yeah, because Phil asked me, right, I was in stitches earlier. He's asked me, he goes, "Oh, Wiz, are you going on May the 16th? I said, well, no. I said, two reasons. One, because of my leg. I can't actually walk that far. I've got some weird shit going on because of nerve damage, blah, blah, blah. But I said, also, like, if it's a warm day, I'll be screwed because my heart doctor said that I can't be in the sun for very long. And if it's too hot, to stay out, because apparently your body tries to cool itself by your vessels going a bit bigger and your heart will pump harder." And she says you need to put that stress on your body. So I was like, oh, okay then. So I was like, oh, I can't do it. And
same reason I wouldn't be in a crowd, really. I wouldn't want to, nod off in a crowd with hundreds of people, thousands of people around you that you don't know.
Mate, you'll be waking up with your brand new lover who's just coming on the ding. He'll be there behind you, mate.
I'd rather not go into that realm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so don't go and fall asleep because you know what happens.
I will.
Phil said,
I'll support it in that way. I'll watch it live.
Oh yeah, I will. I don't know if it's going to be wherever I can stream it. If I can, I'll stream it so I can talk to people about it as it's going on. So that'd be something probably to.
No, I do admire them for getting something together that is able to draw that many people. Like I said, that is something that's really, really important. But it's what actually gets done with that that's more important. Because last time there were some great speeches that were done on that stage. But like you say, what has come of it since then? Well, a lot of what's come of it, it seems to have been a massive sort of internal fight between people that claim to be on the same side as each other.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Phil said, right, what to do in order for me to go, get a wheelchair. He said that'll get us right to the front because I'll be in the wheelchair. And he said you can film it, go live, and we can call it Whiz on Wheels.
You'll still be taller than everyone else, though, even sat in a wheelchair.
Yep. He sent me a picture today of his dog and said, "Can you paint that?" I said, "I'll give it a go, mate." So I had to go and buy some canvas and that, but I've never done it before. So I thought, yeah, I'll try a dog. I painted myself, as you can see behind me that way.
Yeah.
So, I'll
that
give
really
it a
helps
go.
To be creative.
Yeah. I'll try it, but I don't know if I can paint dogs until I've tried painting a dog. So why not?
Be careful, they bite.
Yes. I don't want to be barking up the wrong tree.
No, you don't. You don't.
But
all the nice faces in the chat this evening. Hello to everyone who's there, as I haven't actually said that yet, and it's been half an hour now, so excuse me. Good evening.
Happy days to all. Yeah, they're all in there. They're all saying their thing. Jenny has just showed up. How you doing, Jenny? And everyone else, whoever's there. If I've missed you, Sugar Christian, he popped in at some point.
Don't like crowd. I like space. It's even going into cities. I just don't like being around that many people.
Yeah, just be careful, Nelly. If you've been on your own.
In London, it's so cramped as well, and it's just not. I just don't like it. I went to Nottingham Carnival once in the late 90s, and that I imagine it'd probably be like that, although a bit less stabby.
Yep, a bit less stabby. Oh, Bobby's in. How you doing, Bobby? How you doing? We will be pressing play in a moment, or Paul Thorpe. Obviously, due to people getting their narratives twisted and trying to lie and a bit of propaganda about Paul, he's dropped from 308,000 to 304,000 subscribers. That's because everyone's decided to jump on the bandwagon and, you know, the usual. Like, bearing in mind, he can still vote from where he is. But, oh, yes, he's so British, he's not in England. Like, how many times, even on my channel, when we had the chat and an interview, he literally says why he is where he is and what he wants to do in the future. And everyone's like, I shall ignore that. Paul's not in the UK. Do you know what I mean? It bugs me when people are like that. But he comes across as a decent bloke. So then people try to tar him with the brush of his son and what he done and this and that. And it bugs me. So, you know, just watch what he says. And yeah, they are. That's the thing. But they probably see that he's got like over 300,000 subscribers. They're jealous. So they start insulting him. But I mean, I've not heard him. I don't know about this video, but I've not heard him say anything really that I disagree with. I won't say, you know, I agree 100%, probably about maybe 98% of the stuff. But a lot of it, he's given his opinion. So if that's his opinion, it can't be wrong because it's his opinion. You can just agree or disagree.
I mean, like I say, I don't really know too much about him, but do you think that he's gotten into something that perhaps he wasn't prepared for, something like that, that maybe he didn't quite know what he was getting into when he got into politics? Because it is a very, very unpleasant scene. I wouldn't want anything to do with any organised politics whatsoever. It's just horrible business, and I just wonder if maybe that's got something to do with it as well.
Yeah, probably. He did take a massive pay cut, he said, about 80% pay cut for when he stopped doing watches to move on to the political stuff. So it is what it is. But yeah, I've got no issue. If someone chooses not to like him, then, you know, I'm not here to force them into a different way of thinking. But you just got to make sure that, you know, you got the oomph to back up what you're saying, you know. So, oh, I hate him. Like, that's a bit, you know,
I mean, I would presume
explain why.
That if he was selling watches and then he decided to go do YouTube full term instead, then it obviously is something that obviously has to be considered as well. But you know, you've got to keep a channel going. That's not to say he's saying anything wrong or he's saying anything that's fictitious. But obviously, when you've got a massive subscriber base like that, then you are looking at a different level of content creator as well, I think.
Yep. So
because they have to keep that revenue coming in. They have to keep a regular audience.
Yes. But like Pat says, like, he did say that about the kids thing, but I think that, what's her name? She came on the other time and spoke about it and whatever, and it was taken a different way or something. But I don't know because I never saw it because it got deleted, so I can't actually listen to it for myself. So anything that I'm ever told is someone's opinion of or someone's hearsay of. But even if he said that, like, I've got kids, so it doesn't include me. So no. But no, I don't actually. Like, just because of one, say, if I did not agree with what was said, I'd actually, like, I'll say, one, good, you deleted it, and two, yeah, you're wrong. I'll call them out and say I disagree on that. But
I've not heard that comment before, but it seems to me a rather strange comment. I mean, I would much rather hear the word of Dr. David Starkey than I would of some married Abdul who's got 10 kids, who would, by that standard, have more of a right to speak than Dr. Starkey.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, now it's deleted. Like, we're never going to get clarification on it. So,
sometimes we say things in the heat of the moment that we don't really think through, and afterwards we think I could have maybe not said that, or I could have expressed it better.
Yeah.
Although that's not usually the case so much with written things. They tend to be, you know, there's more of a time process involved with that.
Yeah, well, we got a 34-minute long video to go through, so that's plenty of time to change your mind and then you can think, do you know what? I actually like him. Or you'll be like, do you know what? Actually, I don't like him. So you've got 30 minutes to make your mind up. So it's all good.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I don't have kids. Should I shut up? No, you should go get a girlfriend, have sex, and have a baby. For no other reason that it's good fun, mate. It's good fun. Honestly, it's good fun making babies.
That is, but then you've got to look after kids, and you've got to be married, and you've got to make things go. It's not all glorious, is it?
Yeah. So I mean, what I pick up from me, he says whatever. Maybe because he's realised, like, even what he said, that's why he's deleted it. He's like, hang on, I didn't mean it that way. That sort of come out wrong. Shit. I've said things in a live where I'm a bit like, oh, didn't really mean that. But then I've got to try and explain it. So no, what I was saying is blah, blah, blah. So I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, but so.
And another thing is as well, with short message communication like Twitter or text messages, it's really not, they're not as clear as they should be. What appears to be clear when you send it can actually be misinterpreted by people, because it's very difficult to understand tone. So that might have been meant as a sarcastic remark. And yet,
as I know, Pat, don't hold me to it, but I think he did turn around. He said, I deleted it. I'm sorry for what I said, or something about the way he said it, or he apologized for something around that, I think, but I don't know where the video is, so I can't even back up what I'm saying, but I'm sure it was something along those lines. But you're entitled to your opinion. I don't, but if he literally said, like, oh, if you don't have kids, you've got no right to say anything about the country, then that is wrong. Because people who have no kids are probably professionals. You could have two lawyers that are married and they choose not to have kids, so that's fine, because there's other people that have 4, 5, 6 kids, so they're covered.
Some people can't have kids for medical. That doesn't mean that their opinion doesn't count.
Exactly. So no, I was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic. I didn't mean literally. I was just trying to lighten the mood, mate. Lighten the mood, because no one likes Shabana Mahmood. All right?
No, she doesn't even like herself.
But no, if you don't want kids, don't have kids. Not a problem. You want kids, have kids. But yeah, we're all entitled to have an opinion, and we're all entitled to live our own life without being judged for it.
I'm happy. Yeah, it's much more an easier ride for me having 2 nieces and a nephew. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
It's just not in my nature to be able to care for children full time. I just wouldn't be very good at doing it. Be all right part time, but full time.
You foster or adopt a child if you're a gay couple. But I mean, I'm not going to say it's just because you said that, but it was in the news. Did you hear? I think it's a 3 or 4-year-old died because he was abused by the 2 men that adopted him or fostered him. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. It's not a good look for other innocent gay people, is it?
I personally don't think that that there should be homosexual couples adopting children. I don't think that it's good for a child's well-being. I don't think it's good for society. I don't mind if people want to be homosexual. That's entirely up to them. They can do it behind closed doors. But I think that it creates an impression of normalization for a child. And I think it's confusing for children as well. And I just don't agree with it.
Yep. I more along the lines of what you're saying, but when he says, no, what do I do? There are options. Whether we agree or not, it's a different story. But it's a bit weird to say I'm gay but I want kids. You're like, well, if you're heterosexual, you wouldn't have a problem. It seems a bit, innit?
Yeah, that is fiction.
Some things annoy me in life, like when people buy a microwave meal and put it in the oven. What? Innit? Oh, it'll be ready in 10 minutes. No, let me put it in the oven and use half an hour's worth or 45 minutes worth of gas instead. Innit?
Well, on this issue, David Cameron was obsessed with gay marriage for some reason, and I remember at the time just thinking that, look, I understand that people can have those relationships and want to remain together. That's perfectly fine. They can do that, but they already had a civil partnership in place. Why wasn't that good enough? Why did they have to specifically have a religious ceremony that's meant to be between a man and a woman? Why did they have to take over that? And I don't think that they should have done.
No, I get that. I get that, mate. Even my sister married a girl. I like to be the best man, didn't I?
Oh, right.
No lesbian jokes in the speech. My speech went from 45 minutes long to no lesbian jokes, so it was only about 2 minutes. But I'm not here to change your mind, Pat. I don't want to change your mind, mate. You know, you're a good egg. You can think what you like, mate. You can have whatever opinion you like. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all, mate. We're all friends here.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not normal to do that.
Yeah.
It never has been. It never will be. And normalizing it is only going to create more people who are more homosexual because they see it being standardized in front of them. Now, like I said, people can be homosexual if they want to, but I don't think it's something that necessarily we should encourage.
Yep. You could be like a lecture doc. He was that good in bed, she became a lesbian.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, dear. That's funny as, Pooh. All I know is what I've seen of Paul is that he's a good-hearted person who unites people. That's why I like this channel as well. Yep. That's basically it, Alan. So, again, you know, everyone can have their own views. I'm not actually gay, but I got a conversation going.
I saw that. It's funny.
But that's it. We're all here to discuss it. We will start the video in a minute. Blimey.
In this video, is there anything that, before we start it, is there anything that has happened recently that informs what he's about to say?
Well, what it is, right? I haven't seen it, so I ain't got a clue. That's when you said about, oh, I'm not going to watch it. I was like, oh, I watched maybe about a minute. I think it was on about 1 minute 17 seconds, and I stopped it. I was like, no, actually, because sometimes I find clips where I'm better if I haven't seen them. It comes to me. But if I've watched it and then I think, wait, okay, there, let me take that. Right, I'm going to review that and load up a 10-minute video about it. When it comes, I'll go blank. I'm like, oh, what I initially thought. What was it? I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I just wondered if we were going to be walking into a back and forth and only hearing one side of it or something like that. But hopefully that isn't the case.
Yeah, I think we agree with you there, Pat. So, Kira, well, there is a book out saying Tommy is a scammer.
Anyone can put a book out.
Yeah.
That doesn't make the fact that the words that are on the page any more truer than the fact, you know, that somebody says it. It's, you know, anyone can do it.
Yep.
I've released 2 books myself and was very delighted when I got my royalty payments yesterday of £20, which did my shopping.
£20?
£20. I know. I'm like a proper author now.
No, I'm only going by what people said, mate. Honestly, what I'm saying is hearsay as well. So, yeah, I have no actual answer, full stop. And all I said is what I've heard other people say by saying, oh, apparently that's not what he meant, but I do not know. I didn't see it. It's a shame. I'd like to see it. But maybe I might actually ask Paul on WhatsApp or something and just ask and clarify. Maybe he can do that for me on WhatsApp, and then I can tell you guys. But yeah, no, I know you're not getting crappy, mate. You want answers to make an opinion. Sorry, mate.
He could have just been taking the piss.
Exactly, but without the video, we can't say. Again, it's just hearsay for us, isn't it? Which is annoying. We can't. It's a bit like having Chrissy back, and I've got an opinion. Yeah, well, we can't really debate that, mate. So, but yeah, what I'm saying is hearsay as well, mate. So yeah, take everything I'm saying with a pinch of salt. So
Yeah, same here as well. All I'm going to say is I'm just offering my immediate opinion. I'm not going to have thought about any of this beforehand. So I might be wrong about things. There might be things I might need to ask questions about. We'll see.
Yeah, I might be totally wrong. And I've said, like, if he did say whatever he said and meant it in that way, then I'll be like, well, hang on. I'd disagree with him on that. I would. I'll be the best to say it. So I'm not here saying, oh, Paul's this and Paul's that. And the sun shines out of his arse. It doesn't. It shines above his head. He's in Spain. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know where I was going with that. But what I'm saying is, I can still turn around to you and say, look, on this point, I disagree with him, but on the whole, I think he's a good guy. I'm one of them sort of people. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the way to be, really.
That's a reasonable position.
So, but yeah, but I mean, we started spouting stuff that, I was like, oh, disagree with that, disagree with that, disagree with that. I'll be like, oh, do you know what? I used to like him and then he changed. But obviously, don't go snipping that bit out and sending it to him because that's out of context. But should we start the video, ladies and gents? Because we've been going for 46 minutes. We spoke about this, that, and everything else. And Paul's just staring at us like, mate, I've been stood here, Spain. Yeah, literally frozen still. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'll tell you what, on a funny kind of thing, my missus, right? She's having moments. So I've got a feeling I don't want to make a joke out of it in case they're more serious than what I think they are, because we always say, oh, whatever, it never happens to us. But my missus has been doing like random stuff. But the latest thing, she couldn't find her bank card and she found it in the freezer.
Right. Okay.
And I turned around to her, being funny. I said, oh, it doesn't matter. I said, I'd rather it be you than the police that froze my bank account.
That's a really good response.
Yeah, that's the way my mind goes, mate.
That was very witty.
I tried to make a laugh out of it and a joke, but in the back of my head, it sort of worries me sometimes that it might be a bit more serious. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of stuff I'd keep an eye on. I've done a few random things like that.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, because I go shopping with my old ma on a Friday usually, or a Saturday, whichever day that she feels like it. And yeah, you can see sometimes that she's not as sharp as she used to be, and she forgets things, and I have to go and get things for her because it's too much of an effort to go and walk all that way, that kind of thing. You do notice these things.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit worrying sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm always one to make a joke out of anything, me. Do you know what I mean? Even after my heart attack, cracking jokes. Do you know what I mean?
You have to.
I'm like, oh, I only come back because I told Jesus a joke, and he's like, mate, bugger off, go back. I'm not ready for this shit yet. You know what I mean? I make silly jokes, so.
You have to. It's gallows humor, isn't it? It's how you get through these things. It's this, it's how people who are in the forces and who are in the emergency services, it's how they get through their experiences. You have to laugh about it.
You have to, mate. You have to. So it's a cruel world we live in.
It is.
Okay, there's enough people that have got love in their hearts, and yeah, let's not go too deep, but you know what I mean.
No. I have a theory I'm working on. I think somehow that we know why we're here, really, but I think that we've just forgotten what our purpose is, and it's down to us to find out what that is. And there's a lot more to it. That's the basic principle.
Yeah. I'm a bit like, I reckon, like, before we come on this earth, before we're born, everything's wiped from our brain. We won't remember anything before it. One, because we're a bloomin' baby, but two, I think there could be some sort of agreement between us and the creator. He's like, look, you're going to go onto this planet, you're going to do this. It's not going to be easy. It's sort of like a verbal contract. You're like, okay, not a problem. Yeah, I'm all happy with that. Good. Oh, by the way, when you're born, you're not going to remember nothing. So that we live our life. And then when we go back and to see the creator, it'd be like, I told you weren't going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find it? And then a way of us being educated, maybe.
I agree with a lot of that. Yes, I would put it slightly differently in that I think that there's a reason why we, we're made of energy really. Why our energy has to be contained within a temporary life form. I think that there's a reason for that, and that at the end of that, you then get wiped and go back into another life form, when really the life form is something that's eternal. But I haven't quite reconciled how it all works, but something along those lines.
That's what I'm
I
like.
was
We could
high.
be in a different universe, different planet, and we won't remember Earth, but we'll be
No.
there thinking, oh, I wonder what we've done before. Oh, I wonder if there's a creator. We're on a different planet saying it.
Well, I definitely think, from having studied literature and culture for a number of years now, that the further back you go, the closer you are to the fundamental truth. And that's the problem I have with the Abrahamic religions, is that they're too close to us than they are to an older truth. And so I think that they are just an interpretation of that older truth at that particular time. And the oldest we know about is only about, what, 12,000 years, something like that. It's really not very long at all. And humans have been around for hundreds of thousands of years. And it's perfectly plausible that there could have been people far more advanced that existed before, who have now gone off the face of the earth for some reason. Maybe they were made extinct. And it's perfectly plausible that no trace of them would be left because of the way that things erode over time.
Yep. Yeah, I'm happy to think about creator, because it seems a bit odd that we've got a massive universe, yet we just happen to have X amount of planets in a row all going around Earth. We got the sun, but wherever else you look in the universe here, like anywhere, even in our one in the Milky Way, there's nothing else like it. Why is it so, like, by design for us, but everywhere else is just so random? It's like, oh, over this part of the universe, we could put something here, call it Earth. It needs a moon, it needs a sun. Oh, and then we've got Jupiter, Uranus, and blah, 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 blah. And, I mean, that's a bit weird how we've got that, but it's not anywhere else.
Yes, I mean, I prefer the pronunciation Uranus myself, as I think it's much more. Uranus, yes. I think that the way that all of those things sort of, hang in space by gravity, and all the different forces and everything that holds these rocks and pieces of metal together, all of that stuff that we don't know is what God is. It's not. I don't think it's the stuff that we see that's in holy books, because that is far too human-like. I think that it's something that's completely beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, another thing that bugs me, like, we go to the moon, we go to Mars, wherever, and then you've got these other planets. Oh, let's go over there. You're like, hang on, why don't, when you get off this Earth, go literally straight down or go straight up and see what's there? What is below us? Go right down and keep going down. Is there more? Who knows?
We don't know.
We don't. We seem to go left or right.
We know very, very little about this planet. We know very little about the seas. We know very little about what we're actually capable of. And I think there's far more things that we could uncover that would be revealing about us than we actually already know.
Yep. And I reckon, even as us, like, just so we invented something and we could travel, I don't know, 1,000,000 light years in like 2 seconds or something, and we went to a planet and we said to them, oh yeah, by the way, obviously on our planet we had Jesus, and they're like, what? Who's that? They probably wouldn't know that. But if you said, oh, we have it within us, a sort of idea or a hope, maybe, that there is a creator that we call a god, they'd be like, oh, we got something similar to that, but it won't be the same. It won't involve Jesus, and it basically disproves, like, Christianity as a whole, because otherwise, no matter where you went in this universe, Jesus, oh my God, he visited us 10,000 years ago. Oh, he visited us 2,000 years ago. There'd be some sort of uniform, like, wow, this Christianity is all over the universe. But if it's not, it's only on one planet, then why would that be? Because maybe there's not as much truth to it as we think, but the creator idea is.
The creator idea is something that appeals to our fundamental sense of pattern recognition, and that we want there to be something that holds it all together because it makes logical sense to us. And when it doesn't make logical sense, we tend to fill in the gaps. And that's what I think a lot of this is doing. It provides a sense of comfort to people, a sense of direction, and it provides a set of morals. And I know there are people who are Christian in the chat who won't like any of that, but that's fine. We're all entitled to our opinion. My opinion is that yes, there was somebody called Jesus who lived about 2,000 years ago, that he was an apocalyptic preacher at that time who caused a bit of a stir. But as for the rest of it, well, if you look at the literary archaeology, then you've got people like Tacitus and Josephus who mention him, but they only mention a Christus being crucified. They don't mention any of his life or anything like that. So even that could be somebody else. And this was several years later. The Gospels were written, I think, about 80 years later, something like that. The letters from Paul were based on the teachings of Jesus, but Paul never met Jesus. He saw him in a vision. And so in all of those regards, that's where, for me, you can see that the literature goes into the realm of folklore and takes on images that would have come from sort of pagan ideas, things like that, all different kinds of things. And no, there's nothing wrong with people who want to follow that religion, but it just, for me, it just doesn't hold up as being pure. And the other thing that I say is that we go about pattern recognition. I do not know of anybody else who in existence who, apart from yourself, who has been resurrected and has walked on water and turned bread into wine and actually done it, not just a magic trick. You know, all of these things that in ordinary conversation, if somebody were to say to you, somebody did this, you wouldn't believe them. But yet when it comes to faith, people are willing to suspend what their normal expectation would be. And I just don't understand it myself. But you know, it's a question of belief, and that's what it comes down to. Some people believe, some people don't. I never have done.
Yeah. Well, let me have a.
Well, you know, it's true what people are saying that the Gospels were written between 30 and 40 years after his supposed death. Yes, that's quite true. Not all of them were written at the same time.
4th century, it's saying. I googled that.
But yes, some of them were written around 30 to 40 years later. But even if you take that as an example, if you were to write about something now that happened 40 years ago, how accurate would it be?
Yeah.
And that's with all the resources and the archives that we've got today.
A man does like to embellish and expand.
Yes.
And put their little touch.
As far as I'm concerned, in any religion, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's about how people believe it and what they get from it and what sort of guidance it gives them.
Yep. That's it, mate. But what
I mean, obviously it's more believable than someone in a cave getting spoken to by an angel.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely true. Trying to work out what I activated a thing today in the back end. It says that you can dual stream, so you can stream on like the shorts style as well. Yeah. Done that, but I'm looking and all it shows is half a pool space. You can't see me or you or nothing. You think it would have changed it, so
yeah.
Strange but true. Oh well, what can I do? But I thought I'll give it a go. I'll have a look. If not, I'll delete it.
One thing I would say about Paul and his letters and you know, only seeing Jesus in a vision is, okay, that's fine if you want to believe that, but you know, what is a vision? It's a dream. So I have visions every morning. Does that mean that they're true? I had a great discussion with Jimi Hendrix once. It was fantastic. It felt real, but that doesn't mean that it was real. But I think that if you were to look at all of people across the world, I've never done this, But I'm sure if you were to look at every single culture throughout the world, that you would find a commonality that was there, and that within that commonality, you would find what really spirituality and religion are really about. But I would also say as well that religion isn't really something that I particularly care about, because it always ends up getting into the argument of my religion is better than yours, and that just is boring. It doesn't get anywhere. So it's not something that really I care about. I'd rather read about UFOs, to be honest.
Definitely. Got to have a bit of UFO-age. I have to sort out what I'm doing with that channel as well. It's all good in the hood. But right, literally done what Apostate Prophet and David would do. They always do whatever, and by the time they get on the video, it's about an hour in the stream. That's literally where we are now, an hour in, and we haven't even pressed play yet. Paul's still there, frozen. Like, I'm trying to say something. So right, we're gonna play it, ladies and gents. It's 34 minutes 56 seconds, which made me laugh because that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Just made me chuckle. Yeah. But right, we're gonna play it, and as and when we feel we want to speak, we may stop it.
Welcome back, everyone. Time.
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yep.
For a chat, I think, because certain individuals are just not prepared to let something go, are they? They're not prepared to cease with their attempts to destroy what is, let's face it, the only show in town. Of course, I'm talking about Tommy and the Unite the Kingdom movement. It's very interesting that one or two people have got this bizarre fixation about Tommy and the movement and their will to destroy it. And I'm really struggling to come to terms with this and to discover their ulterior or their ultimate motivation for wanting to do so. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't. Apart from smearing or trying to smear.
So from that opening minute there, obviously there's someone or a group of people have pissed him off by the sound of it. I would assume that they've probably been mouthing off on YouTube about him, saying terrible things, probably calling him a grifter. I believe that's the use. And he is determined to put across his perspective here, and he believes that they're trying to destroy the Unite the Kingdom movement, and he believes that's the only show in town. I don't know quite what he means by that. Perhaps he'll elaborate, but I just wondered, because like I say, I don't follow him, but has there been something like that that's been going on, that people have been trying to destroy this movement, or is that just an opinion?
I don't actually know. I've not seen or heard anything about Unite the Kingdom. The only thing I saw was actually Tommy's video saying about it, and that they've got some song for it. That's it. That's all I've heard. Not even on X.
The other thing I would say is, and again, I'm trying to just be neutral here, is why, if people have been saying these things and you don't like it, why have you then gone on and spoken about it on here? I mean, is that to continue what's going on, or is it to give people information? Is it to try and stop it, or is it to try and reconcile? It's something that it's obviously a deliberate choice to come on here and say this, and he could not have said anything. So I'm interested in why he might have done that.
Yeah, hopefully he'll expand.
Just about anyone and everyone that's ever stood on a Unite the Kingdom stage, and that includes myself, they've been dishing out every single accusation, rumour. They've been making stuff up to the nth degree. And I'm really genuinely struggling to understand why. Now, the latest one is that attending the Unite the Kingdom movement is a waste of time, and it achieves nothing. And all the money that's raised for it is just a grift. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that fall for this nonsense. And I get it. I really do. I mean, there was a time, and I'm going to be really frank and really blunt with you. And Tommy's team know this, so it's not going to be news to them or news to anyone else. After the last event, or was it the one before? I can't remember now. Where there were questions about where the money went that was raised for Peter Lynch, God rest his soul. I had one or two questions myself, if I'm honest. Tommy was in jail, so I couldn't speak to him directly. I was banned from writing to him. The authorities stopped me, or stopped our conversations, our email exchanges. They put a block to that, so I couldn't speak to Tommy himself. But I was able to speak to his second in command, if you like. And I asked the questions that some people were asking me. If I'm honest, I didn't really have any doubts about the integrity of the movement, but I just wanted to ask the questions. I needed to know. And I've got to say, unless I'm really thick and really stupid, the answers that I were given made total sense. And to a large degree were backed up with what I would call wholesome, indisputable evidence. To me, it was a mountain deliberately made out of a molehill by certain individuals for whatever reason.
I know what you just said there, but he didn't exactly go into details with what the evidence was. He said that he's seen it, it's indisputable, he's happy with it, and we're all sat here like, what was it? Are you not putting it on screen, or is there nothing that we could sort of, go here and see it here? I'm left wanting.
I think that is a fair point. And the bit that I just was a bit unsure about there is what he was quite certain that authorities were preventing him from contacting Tommy Robinson. I mean, how do we know that? And why would the authorities do that? It doesn't quite sound right to me. Perhaps it was Tommy himself didn't want to get in touch. I don't know. But that seemed a bit odd to me. Perhaps someone who knows the prison system, like Binky, might know better than me.
Yeah, I mean, we all know people. They're like, so-called friends, and that you say to them, "Oh yeah, someone may have passed away or something," and then that so-called friend's like, "Oh yeah, I heard that. I was going to come, but." In other words, they make the excuses after because they didn't actually make any contact with you. Oh yeah, but it was because, like, they're thinking on the spot. What they really mean is, I didn't do anything because I didn't give a shit.
Here we go. Grace has put very kindly in the chat that there were letters banning them and the emails got bounced back. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that answers that question because, I've known people in my life. They're like, "Oh yeah, if you ever need anything, blah blah blah." You're like, well, where were you when it was going all kicking off? Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you were living your life, not giving two hoots about mine. You weren't interested in anything. Then when you get called out, oh yeah, but I was busy. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, and also I do think he's got a fair point when he was mentioning about it seems like everybody has been out to get him. He's obviously been getting a lot of shit off people. He's lost a lot of viewers by the sound of things. And having been in a situation where I have had someone who has got a YouTube channel of over 100,000 slagging me off and making up lies, I know how unpleasant that can be. So being on the other end in a channel at his size, it must be a lot to deal with. Yeah,
I'm glad that someone like Grace can clarify that, because obviously I'm only questioning it. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do.
As they were, I think a lot of them have now been outed in many respects, but we'll put that to bed for a moment. Let me go back a couple of years to my first introduction to Tommy and his team and to the United Kingdom movement. I must admit I was a little bit wary because I've been a big supporter of what Tommy's been doing for a number of years, and I thought, get to know the guy, get to know the people around him, and I might not feel the same, You get my drift, right? So my good friend Liam Tufts, who is a man that I've known personally and quite well now for about, where are we? Probably about 15 years. Not through politics or through YouTube. Liam used to be, or Liam was a customer in my shop in East Grinstead. That's where we both used to live. And that's how I met Liam. And yeah, he's a character, Liam. You know, everyone can see what Liam's like. He's a character. He's a man's man. He, you know, says what it is and says how he feels. And I got on well with Liam. I had a lot of respect for Liam. I hope the feeling was mutual. But the one thing that struck me about Liam in our private conversations, and we had many private conversations, both in the shop and outside the shop when we might meet for a coffee or a beer or whatever. And remember, these conversations are a million miles away from Tommy or the United Kingdom movement. The one thing that really resonated with Liam is that he really dislikes unfairness. He really dislikes bullying. He really dislikes people taking advantage of weaker people. And to me, that kind of makes him a good soul, right? That was my impression of Liam. Always had a lot of time for him. He was never rude to me. He was always polite, always a gentleman. Just a genuine all-round good guy. So that's how I got introduced to Tommy and the United Kingdom movement, because Liam, when I went public with my political views, Liam rang me up and he said, well, Paul, you know, never knew you felt like that. I'll introduce you to Tommy. And that's how it went. Now, when I started to meet the guys in the United Kingdom movement, as I said, I was a little bit wary. I thought, well, I hope I'm not going to find things that I don't like here, because it's really going to spoil it for me. You know, I want to find good people. I want to find decent, honest people that are trying to do the right thing. And look, I've not been what you would call deep in bed with this organisation. You know, I'm not sort of completely on the inside, but I've got to know the people on the inside, and I've been around the peripheries. I've heard the private conversations. I've seen what's been said behind the scenes. I've had a number of private conversations with Tommy, and I can absolutely assure everyone from the bottom of my heart, right, that I've never seen or heard anything nefarious coming from within the organisation. Every single thing that I've heard has been what I would consider to be genuine, to be honest, to be for the long-term and short-term good of the country, with the people in mind, particularly, I've got to say, the white working class. Yeah, I mean, it's been nothing but wholesome and healthy. But there's now this seemingly, well, it seems to be growing, this anti-Tommy, anti-UTK movement group of people who seem to be gathering in numbers. And my question to them is, and I'm not going to criticise them because everyone's entitled to their view. I have no problem with someone that doesn't like Tommy or the United Kingdom movement. That's fine, because that is their prerogative. The only question that I would have for them is, well, why? You know, this is the only show in town. It's the only game in town. Tommy is, whether you like it or not, he is, and he has been the next best thing that we've had since Winston Churchill, as far as a leader of men is concerned. And these people want to destroy him.
You know, I knew you were going to say it in my head. I'm like, are you just comparing Tommy Robinson to Churchill?
Yeah. And you take the piss there, Paul. Come on, be serious. Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders this country has ever had, a man who fought for this country, who stood up for this country, who was the first man in this country to ever put UFOs on the written record. And you're comparing yourself with him. Come on, Paul. That's a bit of hyperbole, I think. Tommy has done good things in getting people together. Yes, that is true. Nobody can deny that. He's put out films that have had important information. I don't think that many people have done more to promote the grooming gangs than he has, apart from people like Roger Mia, Maggie Oliver, for example. Those people, yes, they have. But in terms of like a civilian doing it, yes, he has done that. But come on, Churchill.
Yeah, Churchill, Robinson. Yeah. I knew you were going to say. As soon as I heard it, I was a bit like, "Oh, mate." But yeah, I'm sort of where you're at. Yeah, I'll go as far as say, as the time is now, people and maybe the country may not realize, but they actually need someone like Tommy Robinson. So if that is Tommy Robinson, I don't think his value will really be seen or understood until time's passed and people are looking back, and they'll be like 10 years from now going, why didn't everyone believe in the UTK? Why didn't anyone stand up for Tommy Robinson? He's getting called this, he's getting called that. Oh, he understands Islam. He's educated on Islam. So that makes him Islamophobic. Like, what happened back then in 10 years? I think it's going to be one of them moments, possibly. But
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think at the moment he serves a dual purpose, as I've mentioned on here before. In that one hand, he's a folk hero in the vein of Robin Hood, somebody who's very much somebody of the people. Obviously he's not robbing the rich and giving to the poor, but in terms of information, then he is. Hello, Olga. Good evening. Good to see you. With a picture as well today. Very good to see.
yes,
Um,
hello.
And I agree with what Binky has put, that yes, there is a bit of class snobbery that's there as well. But
Yes.
putting that aside, he is not a political figure. He is not a member of parliament. He doesn't aspire to be a member of parliament. And I think that some people are putting him on a pedestal and placing him in a position where he actually doesn't want to be, probably doesn't feel comfortable being, and isn't really designed to be in that position. Because the other thing that comes with it is, yes, he's seen as a folk hero to some people, but to other people, he's the folk devil. He is, the stereotypical pantomime villain that they want to have. If any time there's racism, it's Tommy Robinson's name linked to it, or it instantly mentioned within it. So he became a folk devil in that regard. Whether or not what he has done will have any change on the country as a whole, as you rightly say, how can we know that at the moment? We can't.
Yep. Apparently, Jason the Place says if Tommy's working class, then he's a pretty unicorn. He's a pretty unicorn.
Very pretty.
Pretty.
I can see triggered Christians disappointed that there aren't the trolls from Dan Wotton's chat. I know what he means by that. I've seen him in there many evenings.
Yep, I literally put that up on the screen. I was like, well said, well said. But
Pat's raised a good point there. What class is Tommy? Well, what class is anybody? Now, I would say that I was working class because I was brought up in a single parent family on a council estate. Other people would say, no, you've gone to university and had education, you've been a teacher, so that would make you middle class. I wouldn't say that I was. So what is it that makes somebody class? Is it where they live? Is it their background? Is it their family? Is it their education?
Yep. I'll just say I'm the class of 96.
Yeah. What I think we can safely say, though, is that regardless of whether or not people think he is of that class, to many people of the working class, Tommy Robinson is a symbol for them of the working class.
Yeah, I think even Tommy said, like, because obviously that's not his real name, but Tommy Robinson, he says, is the movement, whereas Steve Yaxley Lennon is him, the man, the person.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same thing you get in V for Vendetta, for those who've seen it or read it, where the idea is that mask carries on. It doesn't matter who's actually behind it. The idea is far more important, and I think that is really an essential thing. But I don't know. I mean, what to think really? He's such a polarizing political figure without actually being political. It's odd. I can't think of anyone else who's like it, really.
Yeah.
Yes, very classy, Olga. Very.
Okay,
the definition of division. What is division? I would say that there wasn't much division in the 90s when I was a teenager. but now it's everywhere.
It is. It is.
But once again, what is this UTK trying to achieve? Because if people are complaining that they're asking for money to put the event on, then I suppose on the one hand, it costs a lot of money to put an event on. But on the other hand, people will want to know, well, where exactly is this money going? And because it's a big public event, it's not a ticket event, then it's much more difficult to get money off people. But I don't think people would mind paying a ticket entrance fee to go to it, because then you'd understand where that money is going to go. But if something like this is, if it's passed the bucket around, who knows where that goes?
Yeah, I think that's what Slim said earlier. Pass the bucket around, but I think he's just got £100,000 donation from someone. I wanted to say Steve Billman, but I don't know if that's just come out on my backside. But I read somewhere like it was £100,000 from someone in America, I believe. But maybe someone in chat knows. Maybe someone in chat can clarify and shut me up before I keep talking twaddle. But I swear it was 100K, and I thought, blimey, that's a good bit of support. It goes to show, like, someone else believes in it. That's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, in America to raise money at the moment. I mean, why else would you go there? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what politicians do.
Yeah.
It's just in America, they're upfront and honest about it. Here, they do it behind closed doors.
It's what YouTubers do. Grift. Yeah. Give us your money. But there's a streamer called DSP, Dark Side Phil.
Okay.
And mate, there's a video of him. He's like, I've been streaming for an hour now, not one donation. So if I don't get one in the next 5 minutes, I'm ending the stream. I don't do it for free. And he started like doing one of those type talks. But he's been ribbed in the past. Like he's saying, oh yeah, I've got to buy some wheels, so I need like $200, and yeah, you need to donate now and all that. And I'm just like, wow, that's he was huge back in the day, and now people have just deserted him. Like,
what a good person doesn't ask for things like that. A good person would be somebody that people willingly offer to give things to because they want to support them, and that person would humbly accept that. Somebody who goes out of their way to ask for money, that's a completely different scenario. And I've said before, there's nothing wrong with people making money on YouTube. That is the point of the platform after all. But don't try and make out that you're not doing it if you are doing that. Some people on here genuinely don't care about making money. I don't, Wiz doesn't, there's plenty of other people that don't. We do it just because we want to do it.
But I mean, I feel really, I'd feel horrible and cringe, definitely. But if it come to the, like, say they turn around, the dentist turn around and say, all right, we do your dentures, but they're X amount. I think that where, like, for me, having teeth would be like winning the lottery. It's just like, you know what I mean? It means that much. And I bet
for that
20
reason,
years out.
I would be willing to contribute to something like that if that were the case. I'm not saying that I will, by the way, but because I understand how important it is to you, but I also understand that it's something that would be difficult, and you might need to raise some money to do that, and I don't think that there's a problem with that. Besides, everyone would see the money had gone.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah, they'd see the microphone's not in my face, and I'll be smiling. You won't be able to stop me from smiling, mate.
Teeth like Paul.
yeah, nice. Go Simon Cowell style, but even now, like even the thought makes me cringe. But I'd like, I suppose I'd have to do a stream and say, look, I need to raise money for teeth, or I might have to do like a GoFundMe. Oh my god, just saying that is horrible. Like that's like, oh mate, I'd rather do it somewhere like this because I'm talking to people. I can put their chat up on screen. They're getting something. Whereas to me, GoFundMe, you're not there. You've got to put your little writing bit in. Probably got to say about who you are, what you are, and all this stuff. And to me, it's like putting all your personal stuff out there, and then like trying to, I read that, or I sympathise or whatever, and I'm like, I don't want. That's not where I'm coming from. Just
No.
like, mate, not being funny, but a pound, 50p, it all adds up. Do you know what I mean? Just something, but maybe watching. And I might even have to do like an 8 or 12 hour stream and just say, look, like, I don't know, the denture stream or my teeth stream or I need teeth stream. I don't know, like try and make a joke out of it and just do some whopping great thing and just try and raise money that way. Maybe, I don't know. But even the thought of doing that makes me cringe. And I'm in my head, back of my head, it's going, no, I don't want to.
I know, it's because it doesn't feel right to do that, does it? But
No.
other people do it completely shamelessly.
Yeah, I just don't. Honestly, I don't know how they can sleep at night, because I'll just be like, mate, really? I've watched quite a few channels in my time and unsubscribed when they sort of way they say stuff, and I'm just like, do you know what? I'm like, I'm a member with Reese's Corner, so shout out to Reese's Corner. Anyone, go and check them out. Say the Wiz sent you. He's just there. He's like doing something in his garden. Maybe he might be cooking or something. He's talking to his daughters or whatever. He's just a casual family guy.
Yeah.
And I found him by accident, and it's so pleasant. He never says anything about anything to do with money. I thought, right, I'm going to subscribe, $1.99. And I thought, yeah, I'll support him. And I thought, you know what, I'll donate some. But it kept coming up with the jumped up $3.99 level. So I said, oh, mate, can you sort it so it's $1.99 and I'll do 5 memberships? And he's like, no, mate, you don't need to do that and all things. But I thought, well, if you sort it out, I will, because I want to support you. He's got like 2,700 subscribers, but he's just a good, honest bloke. And that's Reese's Corner, everyone. Tell him the Wiz sent you. He goes live a few times a day and he's just working away. Could be hoovering, whatever. That's the sort of genuine people that I like, and I will invest in them and support their channel.
Absolutely, and I'm exactly the same. And when I do find people like that, then I do support them. Richie and Rogue and other good people on YouTube, you know, I'd happily support them. They do really good people. Got a good message as well. There are lots of people, but there are also lots of people on YouTube who present themselves in a certain way that isn't necessarily a reflection of how they really are. And people do exaggerate things to create dramas online because they know that it creates more views. And unfortunately, that's just something you have to deal with in this environment, that there'll be people that will take advantage of it. But I think it's absolutely great that ordinary people can actually have conversations now with people who are in their own country, but also abroad as well, because you can get some great different opinions from people from doing that.
Yep. Definitely, 100%.
We have Robert Johnson, for example. He's I don't think he's here today, but he's from Ohio. So we do have a global audience here.
Yeah, and we have Business Australia. Oh, I don't know where he's from, but
no, I couldn't tell you.
I haven't got a clue.
No.
It's like we're going back to, we don't know what's causing Islamic terrorism, and we don't know where Business Australia is from. I ain't got a clue.
No, I haven't got a clue. One thing I did want to mention, that I saw Slim put this in the chat and Nelly put a comment as well. There seems to be some sort of confusion about some money going to the Lynch family. Has anything been actually confirmed about that? Do we know for sure what happened? Or is it just rumour? If anyone in the chat knows, then let me know, because I don't know.
One thing I'll have to ask, I don't know if this is true. So, like, you know, leave the Wiz alone. But when you do like GoFundMe and they say, oh, there's £40,000 out of 40,000, you hit the target. I think it's at that point when people say, right, yeah, whatever to do the money, then you pay the money. I don't think you pay it out straight away. Once it's reached the target, you'll then be, you know, deducted, say you're £10. I'm not too sure, or it might do it straight away and it builds up. But if it doesn't go where it's supposed to, I think it all pings back.
Yeah, I don't have a clue, to be honest. I haven't a clue. I don't tend to do that sort of thing. I don't really use social media either, so I don't really know.
No, I'm not too sure. I read something ages ago, but I don't even know whether that was for GoFundMe or there's a different one as well, isn't there? There's GoFundMe and some other massive donation site. There's choice of two, but oh, the money was collected in cash. Oh, okay, Slim, my bad. So yeah, I'll take that back.
I don't know. Nelly and Slim seem to be in dispute over it, so I think we can say that it's disputed then at the moment.
Yeah, I'd like to think that if they refused it, then maybe because I believe he unalived himself in the prison. Did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe a charity along those lines would have got the money. That's what I'd like to think. That would make sense. Would you think, Jake? I think that sounds more. You wouldn't keep the money, surely. That's just evil.
Well, no, you wouldn't. A decent person wouldn't.
No.
And
oh, they don't want it. Okay, I'll keep it. Give it to like a charity that deals with people who struggle with mental health or something. Surely.
yeah, I mean, I'm a bit dubious about charities. I'm very cynical about them because how do you know the money's actually going there? I'd rather do something where I know you're doing it directly and you can see the benefit of it. And I also am of the opinion that if you're doing something voluntarily, then it's something that is between you and that organisational person, and that you shouldn't be going online and saying that you're doing it because you're then just trying to say, look, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
If you were a good person, you'd just go out and do it.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah. Yep. Because we all know 90% goes to the blooming people owning charities and big charities. 10% goes to the actual charity. It's disgusting. It should be made illegal.
I agree with Alan Paul here. I don't agree with any major charity either. I think a lot of them are a scam.
Yep. I was
because the word can be used. For example, a lot of schools are charities. Most people don't know that.
Yeah. I looked years ago, like when my sister unalived herself. I was looking at starting a charity called Mentally Speaking, and it'd be where people come together and talk. Yeah. And the missus said, like, what would you do with regards to the money and that? Well, basically, only once I think someone donated £100 because he was in the service and he's lost a few of his comrades since they've come home and couldn't handle life, sadly. And I took people to Costa Coffee, and I actually called it like there's a under sort of business. It was like donate a brew. Yeah.
No, and that's a really good.
And yeah, when we done Costa Coffees, I spent all that money on coffee, obviously, for people. In one, I turned up. There's about 6 people. Bought them all the coffees. They didn't have to pay for nothing. Get them another coffee if they want another one. Do you know what I mean? And we just spoke. So that would have been good. But what would you do if you made more money?
You save someone's life, though. That's worth far more.
Exactly. And I said to the missus, I'll do it. So
yeah. And if somebody is in that frame of mind, all it can take in some situations is just for somebody just to listen at that moment, and that can make the difference. Yeah. And that's worth.
And people. It was in the paper. And then I had some people messaging me via Facebook going, "You're not a registered counsellor. You can't do that. You're going to make it worse." And I was like, well, piss off. No, I know exactly where they're coming from. I've been there, done that, got a T-shirt, sit down, shut up. And a few people literally tried to destroy it. And being that, I was still a bit delicate because of my sister at the time, it started to play on my mind and I was letting it get to me. My missus was like, no. Time to shove it. Do you know what I mean? Just ignore it, delete it, get rid of it. So I did, and we sort of moved on. But in the end, once I sort of spent that £100 odd, I didn't do it anymore. Like I said, because my missus like, what would you do with even more money? Like, you're going to be bringing all the money in. And I said, well, I don't know. I'm not doing it to make money, but if it became my job, I'll be on like, I don't know, a 5-10% commission or something. So if I don't
Yeah.
bring money in, I don't get paid. Maybe that's the way to do it. But all the money's for the charity, not me. Do you know what I mean? And that made
Well,
me nervous. And I
I would
stood
say
back for that as well.
I completely understand why that would make you nervous. So I think you were doing the right thing there. And like I say, you could have saved somebody's life. That's worth far more than anything else. Charities are, I don't know. I don't know. Some of them are good, some of them are not. And somebody put charity begins at home. Olga, I think, and that's true. It does. And the way I see it is, I like to plant little seeds here and there, various different places where I go, in the hope that some of them will grow. Now, you can take from that metaphor whatever you want, but that's how I like to see it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it just made me nervous all around it. And yeah, it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I mean, I wish I carried it on, because like even my stepbrother took his own life in the end as well. I was a bit like, Jesus Christ, like people need help. Where is it? Oh yeah, too busy. Oh, we raised £1 million and we got £900,000 in our bank account, and we got £100,000 to give to people. Like, mate, sod off. And I can't stand that. That makes me cringe. It's horrible.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, I think the best way to do it is put yourself on a commission. But you know, if say I raised £1 million, you think, oh my God, you got £100,000. I'll be like, no, I'll drop that to 5% or something. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's going to happen like that every week.
No,
I mean, but if you go through the work, there's no way I'd ever accept £100,000 as 10% of £1 million donation. Never. I just wouldn't do it. And I probably wouldn't even take 5%. I'd be like, no, donations like that, we could drop that to like 1% maybe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
I do.
you're doing it for that.
It really isn't about the money. And I think that when you haven't had any money and you've lived that lifestyle and you know how important money is and isn't, then I think it gives you a much more sense of a balance about things.
Yeah.
Because money really isn't important. As long as you've got enough to keep a roof over your head, you've got food on the table, and you've got enough to treat yourself now and again, then you haven't got much to complain about, because that's far more than people throughout history have had.
Exactly. I think that's the way it should be. But for some reason, well, it is what it is, and people think they got the right to. I think it's like ripping people off. They're lying. Obtaining money by deception, like you're literally collecting money for a charity. Yeah, but for every pound, 90p goes in my left pocket for me, and 10p goes in there for the charity. Like, mate, just you make me want to punch you in the face. It really, really winds me up.
Yeah. And I'll tell you the people that I would give money to if I were going to, because these are a group of people that you very rarely ever hear about, but who are absolutely fantastic.
The KKK, yeah.
Yes. The Ku Klux. No.
Hardy piece of religion.
I was actually going to say, no, the young carers, there are not many of them, but I've obviously worked with some in schools, and you know, they're absolutely fantastic that they manage to do all of that stuff in school. Then they go home and look after a parent as well, and they get very little support, and they really should be given far more support than they are.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think a while back, my son was down as a carer for me, wouldn't let me out of his sight. I was in a bad state, and he was getting like £20 a week. It's like £10 a day. Are you for real? Absolute taker of thou PP.
It is.
Yeah, disgusted.
But sometimes we need people. Yeah, but sometimes when we're in a certain place, we need to have people to look after us. We don't necessarily think that we need it at the time, but afterwards we can appreciate the fact that actually we didn't really know what was going on, and that was the right thing.
Yep, that's it. Right, we're 8 minutes. We're 8 minutes into this 34, and we're an hour and 40 minutes into the stream.
Doing well with Paul.
We're definitely like apostate prophet and David Wood, aren't we? The same. Blimey heck. But yeah, but it's good though because it brings up all different chats, and you think, oh, actually, that was an interesting 10 minutes talking about that. Do you know what I mean? So, but anyway, let's listen to Paul, shall we? Come on, Paul.
Now, I have to wonder about their motives.
Yeah, you wonder.
Now, they'll tell you it's because they're real patriots. They're nationalist patriots. They are true patriots. And that Tommy is some kind of weak civic nationalist, etc., etc. Now, if that's their opinion, that's fine. I don't see them building a movement to rival the UTK movement. I don't see them building enough support to get anywhere apart from a meeting outside their local phone booth. But if they can, because, you know, look, our political beliefs are not a million miles apart. I would consider us in many instances still to be on the same side. They seem to have a problem with Tommy, with money, with Tommy's belief that Israel is a state that deserves to have a place, its own home, etc. They got a problem with all of that, which makes me wonder, do they support Hamas and the pro-Palestine mob over Israel? Would they go that far just to hate Tommy and the UTK movement? Do they feel that other people on the right, they would say the centre, some even say on the left, but that's just plain bloody ridiculous, is their dislike and their disdain and their hatred for those of us on the right, the centre right, the right, whatever you want to call it, I call it the sensible right. Does their hatred for us outweigh their concern for the communists, the Islamists, the Green Party, for example? I don't see these people attacking the Green Party. I don't see them attacking Keir Starmer. I don't see them attacking the Labour Party or the Conservatives, who, under Boris Johnson, betrayed us more than anyone, really, including Tony Blair. I don't see them targeting these people, but I do see them targeting Tommy. I do see them targeting the United Kingdom movement. I see them targeting anyone and everyone around the centre right, that even people that want to go to the rallies, they're being told that they're fools and they're all part of a big grift. Money, and that is the other issue, isn't it, with these people? Money. It comes up time and time and time again. Money. Now, these people have a lot to say, but they actually do very little, if anything. Most of them do less than nothing apart from whinge and whine. So my, not challenge, I don't want to be confrontational, but my question to them is, if you was to try and do what Tommy has achieved over the last 15 years, which includes going to jail on 2 or 3 occasions, which includes putting on the biggest patriotic events this country has ever seen, which includes travelling around the country, hiring a film crew, hiring editors, buying and hiring equipment, putting on events that are...
Paul has done 3 things here that are quite interesting, I think, anyway, as a linguist. First of all, he's made a category error. He's using a false equivalence, and he's then using an authority argument. So what he has done is he's taken this conflict that's between 2 people on the right, and he's tried to make it into a criticism of them for not attacking the left, and instead attacking him. So he's there. What he's doing is he's making a false equivalence, because that isn't what's happening. He's trying to make out that they should be doing this instead. It's almost like a whataboutery move. So he's done that. He's made a category error because he's not understanding the argument correctly there, because he's misunderstanding their intent. And then the last thing he's done there is he's used the authority argument. And what that usually means is where you've got, like, for example, if I were to say to someone, oh, yes, I'm studying to be a doctor, so I know far more than you do, that would be an authority argument. He's doing that here with Tommy by saying Tommy has done all of these things, you've done fuck all.
Yeah.
And again, that's an authority argument. So he's done three things there that are quite interesting in terms of rhetoric. And rhetoric, for those who have forgotten, simply means the art of persuasion. And so there's very much a rhetoric behind this. Paul's very angry here, I can tell.
Yeah. But I for one couldn't, like, I don't care what the cause is. I wouldn't be wanting to go to jail. Certainly not 4 times.
Either. No. But it is a false, it is an authority argument, because he knows it's impossible. People can't say, yeah, I've done as much as he has. So that's why he does it. And it's an unfair thing to do, really.
Yeah.
But understand.
Yeah. I say, do you think, like, it's all about realising, because he's just trying to sort of hammer home, like, literally, like, I mean, even for me, I wouldn't be able to do what Tommy's done. I know that.
No.
So
I wouldn't be able to do what they've done. I wouldn't be able to do what Paul has done either with his channel. So, I'm not in a position to be criticising anybody. I'm just looking at the techniques that Paul's using here. I don't think for a second that he's done this deliberately and sat down and written all of this out and thought, oh, I'm going to use a false equivalence to get my point across. It's just that has come across in the way that he's speaking here. And that he's doing it because he's trying to be more persuasive to his audience.
Yes.
Of epic proportions. I wonder how they would suggest that this is paid for. Where do they think the money for this comes from? It doesn't grow on trees, does it? And frankly, I think the persistent bitching about the United Kingdom movement having to raise money, for anyone with the brain power to actually give it some thought, it's a ridiculous argument that falls down every stage, doesn't it? Every company that the United Kingdom movement deals with, or every company that's prepared to deal with the United Kingdom movement, shall we say, because for obvious reasons, 99% of these companies won't touch Tommy with a barge pole, and even his biggest detractors surely can't deny that. It's the truth. So when they do eventually find companies that are prepared to work for them, well, you can imagine what happens to the bill, right? There's no such word as discount where Tommy's concerned. It's more a question of, well, let's load it by 50%, right? Because it's Tommy. Crowd safety, for me at least, and I don't care what anyone else thinks, for me at least, crowd safety is paramount when these events go on. It's absolutely vital that people are allowed to attend these events in safety, that the event goes off peacefully, and that these people get home safely. That costs money. It costs a lot of money. And because the United Kingdom movement does things properly, i.e. they liaise with the Metropolitan Police, and there's officers that are designated to the team, and the team will liaise with them, they'll walk the route, all these things. It all costs money. And I believe that for this event, the United Kingdom movement have gone the extra mile and hired the services of I don't know what the right term is, but we'll just say expert. Someone that's a real solid, proven professional with a massively proven historical background in crowd safety, large numbers, etc. And his fees are immense. So my message to his detractors is, and people saying, oh, it's just a big grift. Well, why don't you give us something? Why don't you give us an alternative? Why don't you set up your own rally that we can all attend free of charge? There's no entrance fee. Nobody is forced to donate. Nobody is made to give money. People can ask for money all they like. I've been in town today and I've had 3 or 4 people come up and ask me for money. I'm not forced to give it to them. You just say yes or no. Nobody's putting a gun to your head for the money. But the challenge is, why don't you put on an event, do something, rather than just keep whinging and whining and bitching on YouTube and trying to convince everyone watching that this isn't an event that's worth attending because it achieves nothing. Why don't you do something? Why don't you put something on for free as well? And don't ask for money to put it on, because that's what you've been moaning about. You're continually moaning about Tommy's team needing money for this event to go ahead. So let's see if you can do any better. And I don't mean that, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Honestly, I've put on events in myself in the past, both football and boxing events, professional boxing events. And I tell you, people, the vast majority of people don't even begin to understand the expenses that are involved in this stuff. Just bringing your guests. Here's something that most people will never even have considered. Just bringing your special guests to the show to speak and having to put them up in a hotel for a couple of nights. Imagine the cost that will incur. And there's 101 other things that you can go through that cost an absolute arm and a leg. But let's park the money for one moment. Let's go back to, what does it achieve? Because this is now the latest one that these detractors are playing on. What does it achieve? Well, let me turn that around. What will it achieve if we do nothing? What will it achieve if Keir Starmer and his government sees no opposition to what he's doing, nobody on the streets, nobody singing, dancing, marching, angry, hurt, frustrated? Should we take that all away? There was a Britain First march in Manchester today. Should we tell the lads to jack it in and go home because it achieves nothing? Let me tell you about the things that it does achieve. And I've seen firsthand what it's achieved. First of all, it reminds all of the attendees and those at home who aren't able to get there for whatever reason, it reminds everyone that we still have a country, that we still have a family, that we still have hundreds of thousands of fellow people, fellow patriots that truly love their country, their culture, their freedoms, their history. It reminds them that they're not alone. And that is really important, because millions of people up and down the country right now, if it wasn't for these events, if it wasn't for people like Tommy, these people would feel alone. For the people there, for the people that are lucky enough and who can afford to get down there for the day, it gives them an even bigger sense of belonging, a sense of community, a wartime spirit, if you like, that's missing from our nation. Wouldn't it be nice if we could rekindle that wartime spirit, that spirit that is evident at every single Unite the Kingdom rally? Wouldn't it be nice if we could spread that love and that feeling right across the nation to everyone? Wouldn't that achieve something? Or did he
here? Because I think there's a big aspect of this that isn't being considered, which is all of the things that he has said. I'm not going to disagree with at all. I think he's got a point about all of them. But he's assuming that everybody is of the same mindset as him, and they're not. Mm-hmm. And I think that the big problem, and he alluded to this earlier, is that there's become this split between civnats and ethnats. And there shouldn't be, because their common enemy is the government. And I think that's the point he's trying to make here, that an event like this gives people an opportunity to come together and feel a sense of solidarity, which I agree with. He's right about that. Where I would push back, though, is I would say that they did that fantastic event in September, and what did the government respond to? Fuck all. It didn't make any difference whatsoever. They didn't even mention it in Parliament, as far as I can recall. So does it make a difference at that regard? Well, I'm sure they knew about it, and I'm sure they weren't happy about it, and that's why there was a media blackout. So they noticed, they know that something's wrong, and I think it's good for doing that. But at the same time, I think he's making a mistake in assuming that everyone wants the same thing, because they don't. And that's really, really important when it comes to nationality, because I think most people would be in agreement that there is a difference between British and English people, and that we need to make that distinction clear in our laws. And I've said before, but I think that the easiest way to do it would be a passport, that there's a specific English one, a specific British one, and they serve a different purpose. But not everyone who's going to go to this UTK event has got the same idea of what Britain should be in mind. And I think that's where where some of the problem is. I think that they need to put aside what these differences are and see if they can unite over a common goal rather than look at what they disagree on.
Yep.
Because if they don't, then it's just going to end up with Labour and the Greens getting in.
Oh,
but
yes.
it's also worth mentioning, though, that a lot of these sort of spats that we see online, if you just turn off your computer or your phone or whatever, they disappear. Because if you actually go out into the world, people don't really care about this sort of thing. That's why people don't go out and vote. And that is something that people should be focusing on, is how do you get these people to vote? How do you get them interested? Because they've had years and years and years of just seeing politicians lie to them constantly, just take the piss, completely ignore what they want. And they've just been ground down by it, and they don't think anything will change. And until they see some change, that's going to be the same. And so I think that Paul is seeing this as a way towards that change. And I think other people are seeing it as perhaps it's just more of a stunt.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is. I think it does serve a purpose. But again, I don't think it will make a difference to government. But it might make it to the people. And in be more important.
Yeah, I mean, realistic. I mean, even Tommy must know, like, they're doing whatever, like, as it is, it's not going to change anything. He must know that. But obviously, it's like, it's about unity, all coming together. I mean, I'd love to see all the Israeli flags flying there as well. Like, just like say, like, as a country, like, you know, we stand with the Jewish community, you know, 0.4% of the population and that, and show like, we're British, but we appreciate like the Jewish and diversity and all that. But all this, like, it's got to be just so destroying for the people with all this pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, haven't got a clue what's going on, lying about Gaza's genocide. Like, what a time to say, like, like, not only are we united the kingdom, we fully understand exactly what's going on in our own country, and we know we have to support the Jews.
Yeah. Because they run our fucking banks mostly. If we don't have them, we haven't got a financial system. And the financial system is the only trade that we've got that's actually making a profit. But the other thing with the Jews is it's not just Gaza and Palestine, all that bullshit that we get plagued with every single day that has nothing to do with us. With the Jews, we do have a history with them that dates back almost 1,000 years. And it was, in fact, just up the road in Norwich where the blood libel was first created, where they alleged that the Jewish population there had crucified a young boy. And so they kicked them all out. And they were kicked out for about 300-400 years. Makes you wonder why, if they could do it for the Jews, why they can't do it for other religions.
Yeah. Funny that.
Mm.
So, don't want to be Islamophobic.
To be fair about the Islamophobia stuff, watching Prime Minister's questions every week, as I'm sort of geek that likes to do, there are a number of politicians who have raised concerns in there. There's absolutely no way that the government are not aware of the Islamic threat, and it is something that they are discussing and they are dealing with. And I have every faith that it will take time to sort it out, but we have a track record of being able to sort out problems by using our legal process, and I hope that we can manage to do that again.
Right, sound of that. Yep, nothing else to say. Right, Mr. Paul Thorpe, what would you like to say now, sir?
These people feel they're achieving more by sitting at home behind their computers telling everyone that it's all a waste of time and it's just a grift. I think you can make your own mind up on that one. I don't think it's hard to work out, personally. Lastly, there's the accusation that, Tommy's been to prison, Danny Tomo's been to prison. There's people in the organisation that have, got pasts that perhaps aren't ideal. I'm not one of them, by the way. I've never been in trouble with the police, apart from when I defended myself once. That's an old story. But the fact of the matter is, if you look back through history, if you look back at the 2 world wars, and even going back further than that, if you like, British history is riddled with heroes that didn't have a perfect history themselves. Go back to, everyone ever seen the film Zulu? Henry Hook, the bad boy of the 24th. The malingerer, he was described as a crook and a criminal. Actually, in real life, he wasn't, but in the film, he was described as a bit of a villain, a bit of a rogue who had been in trouble with the law, etc. And he turned out to win the Victoria Cross and to be the hero or one.
Look at that chap there in his uniform. That is what this country used to represent. Order, discipline, duty, tradition. We don't have that anymore. And in fact, it's a good process to mention it today, actually, because the Labour Party today did end one of our longest traditions with hereditary peers in the House of Lords. So a lot of people don't necessarily agree with the aristocrats, but these were people who in the past were bred to rule and to serve. And that is what they saw that as a duty. People, as we can see here, who would have put their lives on the line for their country. People don't have that care anymore because it's just been beaten out of them since post-World War II.
Yep. What we got now? Trans and tight jeans, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the heroes of the film. As I said, in real life, Henry Hook was no such thing, but you get my drift. Fighting these battles, having the balls, the courage, the wherewithal to be able to put your feet forward and stand in front of the opposition and take on the enemy takes a certain type of character. It takes skill, it takes bollocks, right? It takes courage. It takes a lot of the things that your average everyday man on the street who may have spent most of his life hiding behind a cotton wool ball, it takes a skill that those people haven't necessarily got. Do you think all the soldiers in World War I and World War II that went off and fought and died in the fields of France, do you think they were all goody two-shoes? Do you think they were all perfect individuals? Probably not, right?
They were collecting money off people, though.
Yeah.
That's the difference. They were out there fighting, where being a criminal,
fighting for the die for the country.
Yeah, and people in the First World War and in the Second World War, ordinary people, they were conscripted in, but some of these people, it actually made them who they got to live out who they truly are. Particularly people who are psychopaths. I mean, on a battlefield, they would be heroes. But when we're talking about people who are rather dodgy and they're collecting thousands and thousands of pounds, I think people do have a right to query the background of these people. I mean, would you give your money to a known criminal? I wouldn't.
No. Well, as far as I know, crime does pay, so no, I wouldn't.
Maybe not the best of characters, but they went off and they fought and died and bled for our country, and they served us. They provided us with our future freedoms. So I'm sorry, all this absolute bullshit about Tommy's past, and even the whole story about his past and being in jail, etc. Are these people really that ignorant they haven't actually looked up the reasons why he's been in prison? I don't believe they care. They just want to destroy. This is all about the destruction of a movement that has taken 15 years to get to this stage. Who would want to destroy that patriotic movement? Who would want to destroy the man and the movement that has done more to shift the Overton window than anyone else in this entire world? There is no one, whether you like him or whether you like it or not, no one has given more, has sacrificed more, has worked harder than Tommy and his team, the people around him. Many of whom, quite contrary to some of the stupid rumours that I see on social media, many of whom work many hours in every week and don't receive a single penny for it. Not a single penny. And I know that for an absolute fact. An absolute fact. So there we are. Why would those people want to destroy what we have, what's been built? The only show in town that has any real chance of making a difference. I'm not talking about politically necessarily now. I'm talking about, a movement, a street movement, a working class movement, if you like. No one else has come near. It is the only show in town worthwhile that can bring the numbers. And I will give, I say that, I want to give Paul Golding and Britain First some credit here, because look, Paul Golding is a man who's politically, I don't know, I've never spoke to Paul. Maybe one day I should try and get him on the show, but politically, I think me and Paul would probably be some way apart. I don't know, but he's a patriot, so am I. So good luck to the man. He's been doing wonders with the Britain First movement and getting out on the streets. So, when I say the UTK movement is the only show in town, that's not entirely true or fair, but it's the biggest and it is the best.
Hang on.
And nobody can deny that. And what really hurts me now,
how can you say it's the biggest show in town and then say, oh, it's not the only show in town, and then he says it's not the only show in town? Either it is or it isn't. It can't be. I understand what he's trying to say, though. This is the most important thing that's getting people together. That's what I think his argument is here. What is not clear to me, and I don't know if anyone in the chat maybe knows, is what is the end game of this movement? Because if the movement doesn't have an end game, then it doesn't really have a point, and the people being critical of it do have an argument. Yeah. I mean, if the end game is, for example, to create a political party or to get Tommy Robinson into the Houses of Parliament, then that's quite a clear pathway to aim for. If it's to gather people together in order to support a political party such as Restore Britain, then that could be its purpose. But I'm not really seeing an end game here. I'm seeing they're putting on an event. They're going to get lots of speakers there. It's going to get people fired up, but also feeling proud of their country as well. But where does it go from there? That's the bit I'm struggling with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get that, yeah.
It really hurts me. I go back to what I said earlier on. These people, and we all know who they are, they're not talking about the Greens. They're not talking about the Islamists. They're not talking about the communists. They're not talking about the absolute abhorrent situation that we are in when it comes to safety for our women and children. Mostly they're talking about the Jews, and they're talking about Tommy Robinson, and they're talking about the UTK movement. That's the ones that they've got the problem with. These are the people that these detractors have the issue with. It's not the Islamists. I think in many cases they actually prefer the Islamists to the peaceful Jewish community.
No, that's...
Hang on about Israel a lot. I'm not interested in Israel. I'm not interested in...
That was a bit too far there. I don't think that the people who are criticising him are really supporting Palestine and against Israel. I think what they're against is they believe that this movement is centred around money and ego, is what I'm getting the impression of here. And Paul is trying to say, no, it's not about... And he's accusing these people of betraying the country by not supporting it. And I think that is... I understand why he's angry about that, but I think that's you've got to be careful about saying things like that, because that is going to cause problems.
Yeah, agreed. But he's literally
Grace has put, culture is the aim. To shift the culture first, then the politics will follow. Well, trouble is, it takes time to change cultures. And you need institutions to change cultures.
It does. So he's literally just about to say, like, I don't care about Israel, but
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, blimey, but you've got to care about the Jews in this country. So, like, is it when he's saying like Israel? Is that like is he sort of saying about the Jews there, or is he literally just saying right the country, right? You know, as we all are, like that's nothing to do with us. Like we can all sit here, like I say, don't I? Oh, yeah, well, there's no genocide in Gaza. Israel have the right to respond after trying to be genocided and all that. But when it comes to it, surely it has to be Britain first, England first, or the United Kingdom first, surely. But we still got to say, hang on, we need to respect the Jewish community here, even at 0.4%, because we've got no choice with the Muslims at 6.7%. Got no choice, mate. They're in your face. They're probably going to stab it and all.
Probably, yes. It is difficult though to try and get the right sort of balance though, because you're trying to appeal to so many different people who want so many different things that seem to overlap, but actually a lot of it doesn't overlap, and that's where there isn't a clear political party for people to follow. That's what it really is. I mean, I know Restore is shaping up to be that, but at the moment we've got to say, they don't have that support and they don't have the staff either. They might in time, but I think far more likely that they would be part of a coalition than they would be an overall winning party. I mean, what they might do is they might be able to change the political culture and push it more towards the centre or towards the right. But I do think that there is a growing satisfaction amongst a lot of people that the government just doesn't work anymore. It's just not legitimate anymore. But I do also think that a lot of the problems that people face are very much dependent on where they live. Now, I have never in my entire life seen any Gaza flags in this area. I've never heard anyone mention Palestine in this area. No one gives a fuck around here. They care more about cows. They're not interested in that shit. It's same thing with the migration. I mean, if I were to purely go on my own personal experience, there's fuck all foreign people live here. In fact, it's so rare to see someone of a different colour that you notice they're of a different colour. But I know that if I were to go, for example, to the next county, to Essex, and I were to go to somewhere like Romford, that kind of area, I would have a completely different experience, and it would be like being in a different country. And so I think that maybe Paul isn't perhaps considering the fact that each different county has its own different problems, and they're not all the same. But we are united in our disgust and hatred of Islam.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe that's why I do the review videos. I do enjoy them, but I sometimes, because I want to sort of like the channel, obviously, to give it more about me and my view or my opinion on things. And I was thinking about it today, like, what sort of video could I do? Obviously, it always ends up at the moment, like talking about the country, think, oh yeah, right, we need to do this about Islam. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing a video about that, right? I need to do something else. But in the back of my head, I was like, what is that, like, ratting around in my little noodle there? Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, by the way, what has women and noodles got in common?
Pass.
They both wiggle when you eat them. Sorry, mate. But it just popped away when I said noodle. It's a good one though, isn't it? Come on. But I had this thing in the back of my head. I was like, right, what is it? Slim liked it. But I thought, do you know what? In this day and age, it's wrong. But I was worried that if I do a video like Paul's doing now, that people like us, what we think or what we say, they could literally be like, no, he's talking shit. They're not going to like what I say, even though it's my opinion and my view and I'm entitled to it. And hopefully I don't misspeak and I get across what I mean. I'm actually quite worried that people will then start attacking me just for having an opinion. So, I mean, what Paul does, it takes balls, but you know, I want to make this channel, you know, it's my channel with. I want to give people my views and that, but I am very apprehensive, shall I say?
I completely agree with that, and you know, we've all seen what it's like when people have a pile on. It's not nice, and yeah, okay, someone slagging you off online and giving you shit really in the real world doesn't make any difference because you can still walk down the street and nobody's going to know who you are. But it's not nice to be in a position to have someone tell lies about you or whatever. It's very unpleasant, and there's certainly something that I wouldn't do to other people. But yes, to go on there, it does take balls to show your opinion. I mean, you could say, what is he trying to achieve by saying this today? I mean, is this just sustaining the drama? I mean, could he have just said nothing and sat back? I don't know, because perhaps it's part of a longer issue. But sometimes I think this is something that it took me a long time to learn this lesson, but it's a very important one. You should pick your battles carefully.
Yeah.
Don't need to respond to every single time someone attacks you.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I've not responded. I went to respond once. I actually deleted the video, but normally I just do one of those little community post things, and I'm like, oh, whatever says whatever. It's just like get over it and move on. And then I thought, no, I actually deleted them, so I don't even do it now because I don't want to be known as someone who just goes online and moans or picks on people. Like that's not who I am in real life. So why would I be? You know, that's why I want to be careful and sort of respectful to what Paul says. This is his opinion. Yeah. So yes, you can have that. Whether I agree or disagree, do it in like we're adults. Do it in a sensible, respectful kind of way. Not, oh, I can't believe he said that. Whatever swear word you can think of and a name, start calling them names and all that, and that just goes over my head. And when I get people like that, you know, who I'm subscribed to, and all of a sudden they're doing that to someone and all that, I'm like, unsubscribe. Off. I don't want that.
I just haven't got time for that shit in my life. I've got to a point now and of an age now where people that bring me negative energies, they can just fuck off. I don't want anything to do with them. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to disagree with people. I mean, this evening already, I've had disagreements with Pat, of course, always, with Grace as well. And that was all about religion. But yeah, none of us resorted to saying, oh, you fucking twat, you're an asshole, I'm going to kill you, all this kind of stuff. We just disagreed. It's fine. Triggered Christian didn't like it because I booted him off one of the streams. It's fine. We got over it. They took their revenge and it's fine. Who cares? We move on. But some people really take the drama out of it, and there's a real nastiness to the campaigns that people do against other people. And I'm sure Paul has probably had the rough end of the stick with that.
Yeah, he's lost, from what I can see, over 4,000 subscribers. So, you know, it's hit him hard. But like he's like, oh, I don't care. They can just go whatever and that. And I'll be honest, if it was me, I'd be gutted. I'd be like, do you know what? I actually thought we're all in it to win it, so to speak. I don't know, whatever I could say. We're all in it together, build one big fam, Wizardians, whatever. And then for people to start unsubscribing, I mean, I see it like daily, like, you know, I go down 1, up 2, down 1, up 6, down 1. But when I lose that one, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I wonder why they unsubscribed. Shit, what have I said? What have I done? Do you know what I mean? It actually affects me because I actually care. So, you know, if 4,000 people suddenly left, even if I had over 300,000, I would genuinely like, I know he's got maybe an image or what, I don't know. But I'll be like, 4,000 people have left. They have for their reasons. Genuinely, I am gutted. But they obviously disagree with something I said or done. I mean, that's how I would have said it. Be honest about it. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and cry, but, you know, it hurts. You're building a channel for 4,000 people to disappear. Wow.
It's a lot. And it's front to say that you don't care about it. I mean, yeah, on the one hand, there might be people that you're glad to get rid of who maybe had extreme opinions you didn't like, but you're still going to notice that that that's happened, and it is going to make a difference. And it pisses me off if I lose one of my Substack subscribers. I mean, I have only got about 4 subscribers, so it does make a difference. But no, going back to what you were saying before about content, though, I try and do that with my Substack as well. I try and do one every week, and I'm just the last couple of weeks, I just haven't wanted to write about anything political because it's just pissed me off too much. And I'm fed up of having to say the same things again and again and again. So this week I'm going to write about something completely different. And people might like it, they might not. I'm sure they'll tell me if they don't. That's the good thing about interactions.
Yeah. I mean, like I keep telling myself, right, don't be afraid to like whatever. And like as this channel evolves, like, you know, I'll talk about politics, I'll talk about news, obviously, and the reviews, but I need to do more videos where it's just me and a camera. I don't need to bring anything up on screen. I just need to sort of say, right, what's relevant? Say, I don't know, Keir Starmer, right, this is what I think. And I need to do a video that's maybe 10 minutes long or so and just say what I think. And hopefully people will then comment below and say what they think. And whether they agree or disagree, they think, you know, that's his view, that's his opinion. I respect it. I disagree because, or, oh, I agree and I subscribe, and happy days, and it could grow. So, I mean, I watching Ben. Sorry, I started watching Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Douglas Murray, and one of the things that hit me was like, I would like not. I'm not going to be up in their caliber, I know, but how they are is men, how they come across, and how they speak, what they speak or what they say. That hit me, and I thought, do you know what? I could do a lot worse than look up to them, admire them for who they are, respect them, and maybe do something similar to that. But I don't know where this channel keeps, like, I keep going off on one tangent.
You mean you're inspired by them?
Yes, that's the word, inspired.
And I would say that they are good things to be inspired by. I think they're really good. I mean, look at this evening. We've used Paul as a catalyst for conversation, really. But look at all the different topic areas that we've managed to cover. I mean, yes, it's been based around Paul, but it's covered so many different other areas. And I think that the people who are in the chat as well have been making a good contribution as well. And that's a really good thing. That, we can take the piss out of each other as well as be serious, and also we can talk about when we need to things that are personal to us or that have happened to us, because that might be important, and it might be something that other people, are interested in as well, who might have been in that situation and not been able to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, just on your channel, gave you a sub. Thank you very much, Gary. I appreciate it, mate. We've got good people here. Jake here is actually a mod, but he's
not
more
really
intellectual and more educated than me. So he comes up and actually gives it, like, some real, like, Jordan Peterson style wordage, and I'm sitting here like, like the council bloke geezer.
No, I'm from a council estate myself, single parent family. I'm not from anything special. I just happened to have been given a gift that I can read really quickly, and I learned how to speak really quickly. And because of that, as a speed reader, I can always just get through things really quickly. It just comes naturally to me, but I know it doesn't for other people. But I think that watching people is the best way to learn anything. And people like Douglas Murray, we'll take him as an example. He's not the best debater in the world, of course, but he's very, very good at what he does. But what he does is very, very subtle, and a lot of people don't notice that most of it is like Nelly has just put in about Richard Inman being a know-it-all and aggressive. Yeah, a bit like what we were saying before earlier. Douglas Murray doesn't come across like that. What he does is he speaks in a calm voice most of the time. And I notice as a teacher, if you speak in a way a bit like a newsreader, if you say something in a really, really serious way, and you measure the way that you're speaking, and you put pauses in the right places, and you speak in complete sentences, it makes it sound far more convincing.
Definitely.
You don't need to use fancy words to get fancy ideas across. a lot of the time, if somebody is using excessive amounts of fancy words, it's because they haven't got anything to say rather than they have got something to say.
Yeah, the word salad goes on, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And
I
so
do
I
find
see
though sometimes.
Jordan Peterson, don't they?
Yeah, Jordan Peterson is a strange one. He really is. I mean, he started out, he was very, very good, and then he went really weird. And he does
he's
a bit
really
like Kermit the Frog as well.
Yeah, yeah, he's really ill at the moment.
Yeah, he is. There are two though that I cannot watch. I cannot watch Ben Shapiro because he talks too quickly. I have to put the speed on half, which I don't like. But at the same time, I also don't like Sam Harris because he sends me to sleep within 30 seconds of him opening his voice. So I have to have him on double speed if I want to watch anything that he's got to say.
Yeah, I started with Ben Shapiro, but I don't know, maybe he's too intellectual for me or something. There's something that didn't tick in the end, and I started watching less and less. But I like the fact that he done the rap with McDonald. That was good for him to be in that. I thought, fair play to you, mate. I mean, that's quality.
I would say to people, if people are really interested in hearing how people speak and put forward arguments and they want to understand that better, then watch people like Douglas Murray on talk shows. But if you wanted to go to the next level, just go and watch a debate at the Oxford Union. I mean, they have the entire debate on there, but they also have them done as like 20-minute shorts, so you can just see one speaker talk. And it's really interesting seeing how they put their arguments together, and you can see the techniques that they use. And you can see that the best speakers are the ones that don't rely on their notes. And they speak confidently. When they decide that they're going to attack the other side, then they do it respectfully. Yes, I agree with Nelly about Connor. He gets on my tits as well. He thinks he's far more cleverer than he actually is.
Who's that?
Connor. Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's got some things to say that are worth hearing, but I think he tries to make himself out to be an intellectual, and he's far too young to be one for a start.
No. You mean, is that what she means, Alex O'Connor?
I think she means Connor. Oh, right. I thought she meant Connor Tomlinson. Alex O'Connor. No, he's different person entirely, Alex O'Connor. I like David Starkey. He's one of the good ones.
Who? David
Starkey.
Oh. He's only half as Starkey nuts, so isn't he?
Yes, he is. But he is worth hearing because his knowledge of history is absolutely fantastic. And he always bases his arguments on history. Yeah. I see. Yes, Connor Tomlinson isn't very happy, very well respected in the chat. No, he is condescending. Yes,
I think by Olga.
I don't like that.
Oh, what about Brian Shapiro? I've done a video about him today with Rachel Wilson. It's just gone up, ladies and gents.
I saw that. And I was about to watch it, and then I noticed it was 5-2, so I thought I better not.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, you got to watch that. I'll tell you. I say my bit. So, I mean, I always find even they make me a bit nervous because I sort of suddenly think, do you know what? I may not be sort of educated enough or have the right things to say when I'm reviewing something. I might sort of review it and people will think, oh, he's shit at reviewing, isn't he? You don't really say nothing. Do you know what I mean? That one as well.
It's your opinion, you know, you can say whatever you like.
Yeah.
I don't think that you've ever said anything that is ridiculous. It always sounds really quite sensible to me, so I don't think you've anything to worry about. And if people give you any grief, then fuck them, you know. It's not going to make any difference. You're still going to carry on with what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that Brian Shapiro, I think I'll call him a worm and a weasel. Honestly, I dislike him with a passion. What he says, like, because I was like, oh, like straw manning is just ridiculous. But that Rachel Wilson, I think I even put on the thumbnail something like his career died painfully and slowly because she destroyed him, and the
You
link
want to
to
know
the
the
videos there as well.
the easiest way to win a debate, I think, is, especially if it's one of those blood sports debates, is just to try and pin down what somebody actually means. Because a lot of the time, if
Yeah.
you keep challenging what they mean, they can't give you an answer. And if somebody makes a claim, then you can really pin them down on that. And so you've got to just make sure that you don't do the same thing. But yes, David Wood is very intelligent. He's very funny. I don't really watch that sort of content myself because I'm not really that interested in religion. But I do, from time to time, watch him and Apostate Prophet.
Yeah, I don't watch them as much as I used to, I'll be honest, but I do. Check out my last video, Constant Gardener. You'll see it with him talking. And
Gary
link
has
to the
mentioned Destiny. He's absolutely shit at debating.
Oh my God. Destiny. Oh my God, mate. That bloke is just, he's on a, I'm trying to say it nicely, but I can't stand the bloke. Oh my, I mean, a name like Destiny, he used to have blue hair, didn't he? But then he decided to get ribbed for it. So he let it be whatever. He's bisexual, goes on about this, that, and everyone else. And some messages got leaked. But when he talks, I don't know what, like, I try to give my honest opinion and say whatever. When he does something like that and he's, oh, blah, 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 I'm like, what are you on about? What angle are you coming from? I don't know. He really confuses me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he knows what he's arguing for half the time. I think he just argues for the sake of arguing. And the other thing is he just talks and talks and talks and never says anything worth hearing. And then when the other person speaks, he does what Chrissy does and constantly interrupts them or gets them to define a particular word, which he does as a distraction away from the main argument. And
did you see him talk?
Oh, yeah. Like
I was about to say it. Damn. Yeah. I was about to say, you see it with kissing and he died on the phone and went, there you go.
He showed him up for what he is. He really did. But anybody who's intelligent, I think, is capable of having a reasonable and respectful discussion where you can disagree. And it's far more interesting when people disagree than if everyone just has the same opinion. But Destiny, I don't have any time for him. He's not a serious person.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him up in any caliber of anything with debates. I'll probably agree with you. It's a bit annoying. You're not saying much that I can disagree with, Jake. So even we could have a little. I'll be really interested. I mean, I think it'd be good for me because I think you could educate me if there's something we disagreed on and we spoke about it, and I can give my view on or opinion on. You give your opinion on, and then maybe it'd be something to do with facts as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think I could learn a lot from you.
I'm sure we'll have something we disagree over. Yes, then absolutely can do that.
Well, I disagree with you saying disagree over. You should have said disagree upon.
I should have said that. Yes, it's because it's getting late. You see, that has that effect on me.
See, now you just agreed with me there, so we can't even debate that, mate.
You might disagree with what my next Substack is going to be about. So there's something that it might be a disagreement on.
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing I do want to do, because I forgot to say to it in one of the emails I sent you, is at some point we need to pick one of your Substacks so we can go through that live, and you can read it out, and we can stop and discuss as we go through. But obviously, some of them are quite long. But I don't mind going for hours, but if you're up for that, and it's a good way of people understanding who you are, what you write about, and we can advertise your Substack, mate.
I mean, yeah, if you're happy to do that, then yeah, that would be great. I mean, I'd appreciate having a bit more of a window to share it with. So yeah, that would be very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put all the links in.
Before it goes live. Yeah, this week's one is well, basically it's going to look at UFOs, and it's looking at all the different reports that have gone into them, and then I'm going to try and see what conclusions can be drawn. So that
Mm.
might be a bit long though, so I'll have to see how how
Yeah.
I can get it done.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, see what ones you've got, see what ones you've discussed or written about, I should say. And then because I'll set it up properly. So, you know, I'll put it that, you know, whatever your article's called, that's what we'll call it, you know, review like we're doing now. And then we'll put a link to it and your Substack in the description. So when we're talking like this, instead of saying, oh, yeah, what's the link and all that, we're like, oh, it's in the description, mate. You can go and follow him there. So we'll set it all up properly for you, mate.
That would be really good, yeah, if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate that. That would be really helpful. And it'll give us plenty to talk. And it will also give me a kick up the arse to make sure I write one every week.
Yeah, and there might be some way that on your Substack you can say, you know, oh, we discussed this topic, and a link. You can do something somewhere to let people know that they can do that.
Yeah, there'll be a link.
Well. People would be like, oh, what? You spoke about one of your articles on YouTube. Oh, I'll watch that. Do you know what I mean? And then people will be, oh, good. Yeah, I'll subscribe to your Substack or whatever. And hopefully that'll build it up.
I would appreciate that very much. You know, that's the sort of thing I think that, you know, what we're doing is all about.
But because I did click on the thing to donate to your Substack, and it says, oh, when they activate it, it'll do whatever. And I was like, oh, so it's not activated, because I didn't know if I could send you a couple of.
It's all free. I don't want to charge anyone for it. If I get to a certain number, I might, but at the moment, no, I want everything to be free on there. It's just an opinion, and I just enjoy writing, and hopefully people can get that from it, and hopefully they'll learn a new word. I always try and put in a word somewhere that I know that people won't know to make them go and look it up.
Yeah. So look at Destiny's why hotel rooms have chairs.
Yes.
He's chuckle. But yeah, I thought I could do a one-time donation to your Substack, but it said nope when he activates it.
Oh, that's very kind of you, and what you've said this evening is far more than that. So, you know, I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got no issue. Like, you know, you're here now, what you're doing here. So I know like it's for whatever, but it helps the channel. It helps me. I'm living, I'm learning. So, you know, at least I can do with something with you, because I'm definitely a 50-50. Don't want to take.
Not at all. Not at all. I know I'm very much appreciative of everything, and the same with the people in the chat as well. I know that they're all very much keen on sharing things on Discord, and you know, I haven't got involved in that yet, but I probably will. And it's good because the people that are coming here, they come here because people here really do want to learn and improve themselves, as well as try and understand the world that they're in a much better way. And you know, if either of us can help people in any way whatsoever, then, you know, that's a privilege, I think.
Definitely. Just I'm so far behind on chat. I'm flicking through and just putting random ones up. So, oh, yeah.
I think actually Nellie's put on here. She likes to listen to things rather than read. I'm guessing you can listen to Substack articles if you prefer doing it that. It won't be me reading it, of course, which I'm sure you'd be glad to hear. God, imagine that. I'd fall asleep halfway through.
He's got Owen Wilson doing it just to like throw the spanner in the belt. You can't see him, so it's actually his voice. You'll be like, what?
Yeah. But no, I think it's something that's important, you know, that we all have things where we've got things to offer and help people with, and you know, it's what we do with that and the platforms that we have that is important.
Definitely. Yeah, well, we're sorting out, because obviously I don't know what we only do 4 lives instead of 8 lives a week, so maybe there'll be some Wisdom co-investigates, but not as often, maybe 1 a month or something. I don't know. We've got to find something to talk about as well. But so I'm more into like what we're doing here, like the reviews and everything. That's sort of I get excited about them because like we don't know what's going to happen. They're quite interesting. So
Yeah.
oh God, what's that?
Substack it's like YouTube, but it's written. That's the
It's not
best way
written.
written. And so a lot of people who are on YouTube are on there as well. So you find a lot of same things, but what you don't have is the audience numbers are nowhere near what they are on YouTube. I mean, if you were to get a couple of hundred on Substack, that means you've got a big following. So it's much different.
Yeah.
I've never tried the audio thing. Someone told me about the audio, so I can't guarantee that works.
Get your link in the chat, mate.
Yeah, I can't remember what it. Otherwise, I'd put it in there, but to log in, I need to do all this two-step stuff, and I can't be bothered to do it now. To be honest, so I will do it for next time. But it's just my name, I think. I'm sure it's just my name and a 1, something like that.
It's got to be done. Got to be done. What was I going to say? Yeah, 8 Lives. It was actually starting to take it out of me. I was starting to get a bit, and I was sort of like going, views are low, and I was starting to get a bit moany. I could see it in me. Like I think I was saying when I Jake, and my views have gone down. I want my views to go up because I wanted the ad revenue to go up because I don't want to be asking for people like to do any like type of donations. That's not what this channel's about, and blah blah blah. And I was like, why am I getting like this? And I it's true. Like I've done it for maybe 2 months or 6 weeks or something. I was just wearing myself out, and I was like, hang on. So I've changed it now to Monday, Wednesday, Sundays at 1 and Thursdays at 7. But once it gets going and there's more going on and all that, I don't mind adding another one, but I can't go silly. Plus I need time to do my paintings. And
you've got a platform, you've got an audience. You should do it at times that work for you. There's no point putting your health at risk.
That's it. And I'm an idiot though. Like don't matter what I do, like I just go hell for leather. Like if I start a painting, I could sit there for like 9 hours without moving. You're like, mate, you just need to stop. Blimey, give yourself a break. Like a bit OTT.
Yeah, I know. I do the same.
Yeah, literally, you sit there, don't you, and you start getting twitchy because you think I'm dying to go to the toilet for the last 2.5 hours. Oh, I'll just write this bit. Oh, I'll just write that bit. Oh, I'll just paint this bit. Oh, I'll just do that.
That's exactly what I was doing it today. I was sat there writing and I was thinking, I need to get my tea so I'll be ready for 7 o'clock. And I thought, I'll just do this bit here. Oh, I've just read this bit. I need to put that bit in the essay. So I do know exactly what you mean. But the thing is, though, I do those things, and people can read them. But I also do music as well, and I don't do it because I want people to hear it. I put it out there. It's very, very secret where it is because I don't do it for that reason. I just do it for me. I don't really care if people hear it. It's for me. It's just the act of creating it was enough.
Yep. So my paintings, mate, I've got them all around my room. About
15
of the bloody things, but I don't sell them or nothing. I just do them because I want to do them, and some of them are probably deemed to be quite poo. Some are actually quite good. I'm proud of. Do you know what I mean? But it's just doing it. That's why they're there, because I wanted to do it.
I don't know if it works like this for you, but I find with music, it tends to arrive in phases. But I'll get a whole bunch of songs in, say, a period of 6 weeks. Then I won't have any for a year.
Yeah.
The same, I do it with when I write short stories. I have exactly the same thing. I'll have a period where I'll write short stories every single day for about 3 or 4 months, and then I won't write any for ages.
Yeah, I'm like that. My painting, I haven't done it for a couple of months, but I find that when I go back, I'm better.
Yeah.
Which is strange, but I can't listen to too much music because I listen and all of a sudden, bang, 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 all these new lyrics. Like, not maybe a whole song, but I'm like, oh, that'd be a good chorus. That's just coming to my head. Let me write that down. Oh, that'd be a good opening line for a song. Well, let me write that down. Do you know? I can't bloody listen to music.
What you mean?
Yeah, it's just so irritating. But one thing I have done, which I am really chuffed with, to a degree, I haven't changed that much of it, but I've made it so it's probably a lot more serious. But I've rewritten The Sound of Silence.
Oh, right.
I say rewritten, like as it starts, it's the same. But you know, when they say The Sound of Silence, I say something totally different. But there's other bits that I can twist accordingly.
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to say it out here because I'm going to nick my idea, but I'll probably let you know in an email what my actual sort of line is.
Mm.
And you'll never look at the song the same again. It will mean so much more. And you'll think, bloody hell, that's quite raw and hard hitting. Yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. If I had a voice, I'd actually sing it to go over the music, but I'll be too embarrassed.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I haven't been able to find a singer to do my stuff. I think that's partly though because I wanted a female singer, and they tend to sing things like musical theatre and that sort of shit, and I don't want that. I hate music.
Right. I don't even know how to sing that. I don't, what's a singing voice? You know, you could listen to your voice and go, "That's awful," and everyone's like, "That's so unique." What?
No, exactly what voice I want. I've always wanted to have a band that is really rock, like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or Ozzy Osbourne, something like that, but with a vocalist, a female vocalist like Tina Turner, who can really belt out something. I think that would be a great combination.
Yeah, my son has got he's self-taught with guitar, harmonica, and he's in a band. He's been at the Victorious Festival and all that. He goes to the recording studios. He's got songs. I don't know if they're still on there actually on Spotify.
Good man.
So yeah, he's really good, and he's the singer.
Oh right, so he does it then.
Yeah,
good.
He does guitar, singing, and he does it on his own. Like the pubs turn around and say, "Mate, if I give you 80 quid, you come here for like an hour and sing and play songs." And he's like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, I mean, I set myself a target a few years ago when things weren't so great. I decided that I was going to finish all of these songs that I was doing. I wanted to put a band together, and I just decided that all I wanted from it was I wanted to record an EP of songs and then play a gig at a local festival. That was it. No, it wasn't anything major. Did I manage to do it? Did I? Bollocks. Got about 3 months into it, and I just got fed up because people weren't taking it seriously.
That's the thing. No one ever takes it as serious as you. It's bugging.
And also, I tend to be quite in the moment as well. So I don't like going with music anyway. I don't like being a perfectionist over it. I like to do it, leave the mistakes in, do it live, so it's real and authentic.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't like that. And also, when you've written songs and you then have to spend hours and hours teaching other people how to play them, you do kind of lose interest in the song as well.
Yeah, I've got a ridiculous amount. You would not believe. I think I showed you before, didn't I? My books with all songs and that, like mostly songs, but there's other stuff written in them. But I've got you know, these pads.
Yeah.
Whatever. A4 things. Them. I've got 2 of them, and God knows how much paper. Where I've just I have random bits of paper lying around. And I have to grab and go, oh, quick, I need to write. Do you know what I mean? Terrible, mate.
What do with your time to do something creative like that, which is the highest order of thinking known to man, or to go on YouTube and slag people off?
I've never go on YouTube to slag people off.
No, never do that.
So, but I even got Google Docs now. I think I've got 18 pages on that where I've been writing because paper and pen and all that. I'm like, I'm here. Let me do it on that so I can type it. So I've got loads of songs.
I seriously was thinking this afternoon when I was writing, I could, if I really wanted to, probably turn this into a book, but I haven't really got time to do it as a book at the minute, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But it did make me think, you know, could I contribute something actually worth reading to this field? And maybe I could, I don't know. Because, of course, my writing priority really is to get my doctorate finished.
Nice.
With 100,000 words, by the way.
Christ. Fair
Yeah,
play.
so a lot of writing. But I have got 7 years to do it because I'm doing it part-time.
That's all right. I was talking about 7 years. I don't know how long it took, but it come through on my Spotify. I cancelled it, but when I had it, there's there's 3 on there, but 1 on YouTube. But there's a group, techno or whatever they're called, but they got like dance tracks, and there's 4, but one of them is actually Daniel Vitale on the sax. He does a popcorn mix, but he does it on his sax. So the other 3, I think they're all. Oh no, one's a Wellerman or something like that. Anyway, I've literally put lyrics to those dance tunes, so the music's there. It's on YouTube, but when I listen to the song, listen to the actual music, that song jumps in my head. And one of the songs was on Spotify. They said you're in the top 1% of listeners of how many times you listen to this song, mate. It must be 800 times where I listen to it back, and I've written songs that fit Technova. That's what they're called. There's a group called Technova. But I don't know if I'm allowed to play their songs and if I had the balls to put my words on top of it. But they're still dance mix. But I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm 49 now. People aren't really going to give a shit about me. Like, I'm literally getting to the point now where I'm too old for it. Do you know what I mean? But it's a quality dance track. Like, people could dance. I don't have to dance when I'm performing it. Do you know what I mean? But it's about Nike trainers, and the other 2 are like certain things in life. But I was well chuffed with them. And literally, when I had my heart attack, I was in hospital. The first thing that went through my head, or one of the first things, was those songs. I said I'd write lyrics and no one would ever know before I died. It bugs me that. It hurts in a way. You think, no, because I'm so proud of them. I'm gutted. And I said to my missus, oh, yeah, I'll go on Britain's Got Talent with that one. I wouldn't, never. But
you don't know that it could be a case that perhaps in many years' time, people do look at that and it does get taken seriously. I mean, how many writers, artists weren't known in their own lifetime?
Yeah. Thing is, so writing it and then performing that sort of music, maybe I'm too old for that sort of thing. I'd have to get someone younger to sing it. I don't know. But then I think, no, because it's mine. That it's about my life, so to speak, so I should be the one singing it. But then I'm like, no, you're talking about singing again, shut up.
You could always use something like a vocoder, so you could change your voice to be more robotic. There's all sorts of apps you can use where you can do that, or voice changes, or you could even just
frown upon that in the music industry.
Yeah, they do, but sampling is fine, you can do that.
Yeah, I wish I had the balls to actually do it. One of them, though, I get out of breath and I'm like, blimey, I wonder if I'll be all right now trying to do it, because now I don't smoke or anything. I'll be a lot better off.
Do it all in one go, though. You could do it a line at a time. That's what Dusty Springfield used to do, and Axl Rose.
Yeah, but what if they said, right, now put it all together and sing it live? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
no chance, mate. Catch my breath.
Yeah. But, we're in a position here where, like the Constant Gardener has just put, that the great thing about the internet is that it gives everyone access to sharing their work. And I think that is something that's absolutely unprecedented in humanity, that you can just create something in your own home and yet somebody who's across the other side of the world can view it.
Yeah.
Like Robert John is right now.
I have to you do like a new YouTube channel just for songs, and then you're like, oh my god, that means I've got to sing and upload it, and no one's going to see it. It's going to be embarrassing. I'll just cringe, mate. Cringe. Mind you, you could just have the logo. They don't have to see your face. That's something with a song.
I have to say, one of my favourite memories is when I got with my ex. We were in London one day, went to Denmark Street where all the guitar shops are. because I wanted to try a few out. And whilst I was selecting which one to play, she got a phone call and went outside to take it. When she came back in, there was a crowd watching, and you can just imagine how cool that felt to be in the London music scene and people are actually crowding round. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, like, you might surprise yourself with, or deafen myself and ruin the whole music industry for the whole planet. Do you know what I mean?
We look at some of the crap that comes out that actually makes loads of money.
Yeah, that £1 fish and Gangnam Style.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you all you do is one song, I mean, I've thought about this many times. There's a Christmas song, you just need to have one, and then every single year you're going to make money off it.
Yep. Yep.
But I just think whatever you're creative with, just when that creativity arrives, use it, because it's not always there. And when it arrives, it decides when it comes along, and you fit around it. And it really is the highest order of thinking, because you're taking something that has come out of your own mind and you're actualizing it. You're not repeating something back that you've learned. You're not memorizing anything. You're actually in charge of creating it.
Yep.
Really powerful thing.
Cool. I'm probably more worried about Technova probably copyright striking me or something, because I use their music even though I put lyrics over it, or they could see it for what it is and think it's a good thing and promote it. I don't know, but they're probably copyright, wouldn't they?
You could probably call it a remix.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst thing they can do? Sue you for it? Well, you haven't made any money off it, so they can't sue you for it.
But thing is, though, if they got the music and I've got the lyrics, it would not bother me in the slightest to turn around and go, mate, let's just do it 50-50. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't bother me. 50% each of something is better than 0 or 100% of fuck all. Do you know what I mean?
I would say so. Wiz was great in the young ones.
I just saw that. I think I am Neil. Very good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to.
It's really, really
imagine
important.
But you could do your song, you sing it, and you think, "Oh, I've got through it, excellent." Then you listen to it and go, "Oh my god, mate!
Yeah,
that voice is freaking awful."
I would never put my voice to a song, never. But I really enjoy the art of music production as well, because I studied that before I went off to university. So I really like the idea of things like the sound depends on where you put the microphone, for example, or depends on what guitar, depends on what tuning you use, all these different things. So I really like to do things where I layer the guitars on top of each other. So I like to do really, really jangly guitars, as well as I like to do my rock guitars. And it just, if nothing else, then keeps me out of trouble,
Yeah, that's it. So I don't know how people find. You see people, they do all this, like, I don't know, shuffle dancing on blooming YouTube, and some people are singing, and they're in cars and go, "Oh, I surprised whoever," and I'll sing a song, and they start singing, and you're like, you wouldn't do that in real life.
No,
you just singing, and people are like, "Mate, you are crap." But no, they just happen to have really good voices. You're like, that's got to be set up. There's no way. Do you know what I mean? It just annoys me. I start singing, my missus will punch me in the face.
My ex could sing. She studied musical theatre, and she could sing everything, including opera as well. Some people have talent, some people don't.
Can't you get hold of her to do your lyrics?
No, I don't want anything to do with her. She sold herself out. She decided to go and become a businesswoman instead.
Oh, horrible, horrible female doing that to our Jake.
Horrible woman. No, she's not.
Hope she wakes up in the morning and treads on a plug.
No, no, I'm not going to slag her off or anything. You know, she made her decision. That's what she wanted from her life. It wasn't what I wanted, but you know, that's just how things go, isn't it? It's not
Everything
going to
happens for a reason, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting around whinging about it isn't going to make any difference, is it? You just have to get on with things.
That's it, mate. What can I
And
say? What can you do?
unfortunately, shit things happen in life, and they happen usually when you're not expecting it. And sometimes it's not easy to deal with things because you have too many things happen at the same time.
Yep.
And we've all been in that situation. And some of us are able to deal with it better than others. But yeah, treading on a plug, that is a pretty nasty thing to wish on someone. That's as bad as stepping on Lego.
I was literally going to say it was that, or I was going to say Lego.
Yeah.
But with those 3 prongs up, oh.
Yeah, either that or getting your finger stuck on the end of a guitar string. That's a nasty one. But I don't.
Can't you think of it? Like when you got an extension lead and you tread on the wire on the back of the heel. If you get that in the right way, even that bloody digs in and hurts.
It does.
So yeah, but yeah, we have like we've actually got them. Oh my god, we're going to have to improve as we go with the more videos. But we've got 10 minutes left. But we've been going 3 hours, mate.
You know, I'm going to be knackered tomorrow.
24 minutes into 34 minutes and we've been going 3 hours. I mean, they say women can talk. We put them to shame.
Maybe this could be a challenge for us then to see if in that time we can actually get through a video.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look for a video that's half an hour or shorter. But
I don't think Paul's really going to add anything to what he said, is he? To be honest, no. I think it's going to be more of the same, and I think that, like I said, it is a good catalyst for bringing in other conversations. And yeah, little toast of that is bad. Oh,
that's evil, isn't it? Catch it on the corner of your like a bedpost or something. Go dink.
No, I did that not so long ago because I haven't moved. I haven't lived here for that long, but I thought I'd be brave. I thought I could see around in the dark.
Damn, learning the hard way again.
that did, yeah. But I think a lot of really interesting things have come out of the conversation today, and I think it's really, really good. Like I said right at the beginning, that I hoped we had some disagreement, and we did have disagreement, and it was respectful, meaningful disagreement.
Yep. I mean, I did have that in the back of my mind because I remember people saying whatever about Paul Thorpe before in the chat. So I thought, oh, we start with that because I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but he's my cup of coffee. So shut up. So it's all good. So it's a good way to get a bit of a discussion going and seeing. And, you know, if someone changes their mind and decides they like him, or they change their mind and decide they don't like him, then so be it. But, you know, that's what we're here for, to live, learn, watch.
It hasn't changed my opinion, I have to say. I mean, I didn't really have a strong opinion beforehand. I don't really have a strong opinion now. I see his point. I can see the point, the other side of it as well, the counter argument.
But
yeah, the only thing I would really question is, if I were going to be pushed back, I would say, well, why are people accusing them of grifting? You know, is there a reason for it? And the other thing that I would query is, as I said before, what is the actual end game of this movement? But I don't think there's anything wrong in asking those questions. They're not critical. They're not slagging anybody off. I think that they're perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we can't believe the time either, Helen. I'm supposed to take my pills at 9. I thought as long as I don't go too much after 10, I'll be all right because I can still take them. So
yeah, we don't want to mess that up. It's important. And I take mine at 11.
I do, yeah. So by 11, I'm normally a bit like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. Let me put something on telly and lay down. Oh, I'm going to go sleep. Quick, run. Stairs, quick, upstairs, bed. Oh, I'm all awake now. I've been running.
Yeah, I have that. not dissimilar to that anyway. And then I wake up in the morning where I've been trying to watch something and I've got one of my bloody AirPods is missing and I can never find it and I have to spend the beginning of the next day an hour looking for the bloody thing.
Well, I think it's a learning curve, this one. I think we've done well, though, mate. I mean, to go for 3 hours, bloody hell.
Bad, is it? Not bad.
It doesn't even feel like it, if I'm honest, which means it's a good stream.
Yeah, it does mean that. And yeah, it's flown by, really. No, it was good. I'm glad that we did it.
Yep, and luckily, due to my planning, I haven't got anything planned tomorrow, so I might do a video and load it up. I might not, because I'll see how I feel. So it's good. But don't forget to check out that Brian Shapiro video with Rachel Wilson.
I was going to look at that before I came on, like I said. So yeah, I will definitely have a look at that one.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I'd say that's mine, isn't it? That's biased.
One thing I would say that I've watched this week that I thought was good, that I would recommend to people if they're interested, is Nuria Khan did an interview with Kelly J. Keane, and that was interesting if you want to know more about sort of women's issues and things like that. And yes, they do mention Islam in there and some rather disgusting practices that they perform.
Yeah.
But if you like those two or you're interested in the things that they talk about, then obviously give it a watch. It's good. If you're not interested in that, then you won't like it. You'll hate it. Don't bother. Watch something else.
Told there. Got told there. Happy days. Right, ladies and gents, we are going to wrap it up after 3 hours of 5 minutes. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. It is, isn't it? I actually do feel genuine. I can feel it in my eyes. I actually do feel a bit tired.
I definitely need to work now.
It's all good. It's all good.
All good. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It has. And we'll have to decide whether we want to do this like every Thursday or every other Thursday or something. You have to let me know what you're up for or what you feel like doing, like, you know, health wise as well. Yeah,
I'm happy to do whenever you're interested in it, and whenever people in the chat, if they want to see it, you know, great.
Yeah, I think it's a good use because, like, the Thursday evening, like, it's like doing the call-ins, but I think it'd be better on a Sunday because it's the weekend. But in an evening like this, we can talk and people talk.
Yeah,
view it. I think it's good.
And obviously, what we trusted people in the chat as well. You know, sometimes maybe we might want to bring someone else up here who might want to join in.
Yeah, because definitely. Even a lecture doc, whoever he is.
Yeah, like him, for example, or Kelly, who was on earlier. She has some
definitely
some interesting views. I'm just saying people that have come on stage. Slim has interesting views, of course, always, when he's not eating, that is.
Yeah, we'll still be doing these.
Don't know where he puts the food.
I know, that's all he does, isn't it? Look, chicken and rice now. It's going about Chinese. He said, I'm having a Chinese. I'm like, who's that then? Way too young.
Yes, there will be more investigations, but we haven't decided yet.
Yeah. Oh, being it's Slim, I know what he's going to have. He's going to have cream of some young guy.
Well, I enjoyed it, so I'm glad. Someone enjoyed it. Thank you, Olga.
Yeah. And I'm still telling jokes, so I'm in a good mood. Yeah, it's been a good one. Yeah, it's totally new. I thought we'd try something different. And I actually think it's better than some of the other videos I've done, to be honest, which is a bit disappointing that I've got videos that aren't as good now. Gutted.
No. I mean, whenever we do something that we've created, we always feel the need to be negative about it. And I think it's much easier to do that than it is to look at the positives from it. And so I think we've had a good evening. It's been a good chat.
It has, definitely, 100%. So there you go, ladies and gents. It seems that Jake and I are done. 3 hours and 8 minutes. Say we weasel out another 2 minutes for you. You got 120 seconds free at the end. How cool's that?
Lucky
So,
people.
so yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, it must be
Thank
awesome
you
being
very
in chat.
It's good to see you all. Good to see you here.
But yes, thank you very much, ladies and gents. Thanks to Pat and his Rhetorical
Pat.
that was hilarious, and
The
Destiny,
Pat,
that was funny as well.
that was
They are
funny.
both worthy of 199. They're very good. So thanks to every single one of you in chat. I really appreciate it. We're back. When are we back? Sunday, 1 o'clock. So if you're about, tune in, and you can actually call in on that one. I'll let you. But for now, ladies and gents, that is the Wizard's Words.